I tell you what, I tell you right now, we are moving and we are damn well grooving through this season as we speak. We're getting to the real horn dog material stuff at the back end. Hey guys, how you going? So BKRsport, we are live as the Penrith Panthers are going to be taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs here at CommBank Stadium in Sydney for what should be a really big game here, because the Rabbitohs, they need to keep fighting for that top 8. They really need to keep fighting to keep themselves in it, especially with the win against the Eels last week. That was really big for them because it did keep them inside that top 8 and gave them that little bit of a buffer. But nobody was expecting the Cowboys to go and beat this Penrith Panthers team last week, which has meant that the buffer isn't as big as it definitely could have been. Had the Cowboys lost like people expected against the Penrith Panthers, the top 8 would be separated right now by 4 points, where the Sharks, the Rabbitohs and Manly are all on 22, and the Cowboys would have still been on 18 alongside the Bulldogs. Now the Cowboys are on 20 and 3 teams above them. Well, their points differential is great. They're not going to be dropping out of the 8 this week, but they are right on the tails, and the Cowboys, they just need to keep on moving and grooving themselves. They've got to bye this week. So if you do not win this week, be it the Rabbitohs, Manly, or the Sharks, the Cowboys, who are outside the 8, will equal with you. And that's a worrying sign. That's a little bit scary there, especially for this Rabbitohs team, who, yes, their points differential is amazing with the plus 106. I've actually noticed that a lot of these big-time teams this year in the top 8, most of them have plus 100 points differential, which isn't actually typical. Usually you'd see them more around the likes of the Roosters on plus 60, Knights on plus 40, Sharks on plus 45. But this year, we've actually got 5 teams above 100, with 1 team being above 200, which is obviously this Penrith Panthers team here today. And that is on the back of 2 losses as well. The Panthers have lost the last 2 games in a row to the Gold Coast Titans and also to the North Queensland Cowboys. They had a absolutely torrid Queensland trip over these last couple of weeks, and they really have to bounce back right now, and they just need to get it going. But it's also Origin time, so you're going to see Origin players out of this game here today, and you will only see 5 games this week because there is a lot of buys. So let's get into it, guys. We'll get into what games we got this weekend that we'll be live for. Then we will slap down the 2-team lineups and our prediction for the game. We'll go through the ladder, and then we'll get into the chat and see what you are saying. So obviously hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and yes, we will be live tonight for Australia versus Egypt. You're going to have to get up for this one. It is a knockout game, round of 32 in the FIFA World Cup, Australia versus Egypt, and it's on at 4 a.m. your time. So it's 1 a.m. my time, which means I'm just going to stay up for it. I'll probably stream Argentina as well. I won't get to the Colombia versus Ghana game, but you definitely want to be for that. It's going to be an absolute massive game. We're going to be going rocking and rolling. I'm actually in a different place now, in a more comfortable place now with a couch rather than a hard wooden chair that I had in the other place. That's actually why I didn't stream the FIFA World Cup this morning, because we were changing places and whatnot, but I'm in a much better place now, and I'm pretty certain the internet is a lot stronger here as well. So hopefully that does maintain that way, and hopefully we get a really good weekend of rugby league out. But all right, let's smash it out. So yeah, like I said, be here tomorrow 4 a.m. for Australia versus Egypt. Now the games this weekend: Panthers versus Rabbitohs. Obviously that is tonight. That's going to be a massive game. Here's the Panthers look to get away from this 2-game skid. But again, they've lost players here tonight. They've lost players due to Origin. Luckily, Brian To'o has been dropped from New South Wales, and they can use him tonight. But overall, this Panthers team has been decimated again by Origin, and that is what's going to happen. And they go up against the Rabbitohs team that they need a win here to really establish themselves in the 8 and keep them moving and grooving in the 8. So this is a really big game here today, where the Panthers go 3 losses in a row when they've only lost 3 games all season, or if the Rabbitohs can maintain their push into the 8. Then tomorrow we have 2 games, which is going to be the Dragons versus the Tigers. Yikes. The Dragons, obviously, we all know their story this year. The Tigers, they have fallen off an absolute cliff, whether it be due to injuries or not. It is showing a lack of depth there at the club, and they really should be winning tomorrow. But with that being said, could the Dragons try and keep a little bit of a slither of hope alive? If they don't get that wooden spoon, they must win tomorrow. So I don't think that there's going to be a great deal of care factor for this game. The Tigers, they need to win to keep their top 8 chances alive. But unfortunately, it just is kind of going down that negative path there for the Tigers. So tomorrow will be interesting. However, I don't think there's going to be a great deal of care factor too much around that game. Then we've got the Broncos versus the Sharks. A lot of care factor about this game for the Cronulla Sharks. Their points differential is good, but it's not that good because the Cowboys have to bye. They'll go equal with them this week, and the Sharks, they're only about 60 points differential better than them. That can be changed very, very quickly in modern day NRL. So they are skirting on thin ice, but they go up against the Brisbane Broncos team that has just had an absolutely torrid season. It's been awful, and they've been really falling apart more often than not. And what is it, like, how many games in a row they might have won? Did they win one the other week, or... It's been a long time anyway. They've lost a lot of games. They've lost a lot of games, the Broncos. Lost to the Roosters, lost to the Rabbitohs, lost to the Titans, lost to the Dragons, yikes. Lost to the Warriors, lost to Manly, lost to the Roosters. Yeah, they're 7 losses in a row. 7 losses in a row, the Brisbane Broncos. So, look, I don't even think it's about saving their season at this point because, look, essentially they're gone. If you're on 14 points or below, you are just simply out at this point. Like, it's just not going to be happening. You need way too much to go in your favour. And mind you, they've also had 2 of their buys as well. So, they've got 5 wins compared to the Rabbitohs and the Sharks with their 8. And if the Rabbitohs were to go and beat the Panthers today and the Sharks then beat the Broncos, it is just simply done. It's not mathematically, but it is just simply done. So that's a very interesting game tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, we have 2 games with the Parramatta Eels taking on Manly. The Eels, look, their season's done. But let's see if they can get up against their rivals, Manly, who are also on the skirting edge of that top 8 with a little bit of lackluster form lately. But at the end of the day, this Manly Seagulls team has been... they've been going great guns this season since the sacking of Anthony Seibold underneath Kieran Foran, and I think Manly should win that game. And then on Sunday, we've got Newcastle versus the Dolphins, 5th versus 3rd. Jeez, I just don't know if I can trust the Knights, man. I really don't. I don't know if I can trust them. That was an awful, awful, awful game against the West Tigers the other day. They got very, very lucky. Neither team should have won that game, but ultimately, the Knights did pick up the 2 points there. But this is a top-of-the-table clash. However, like on form, the Dolphins should just be winning this game. They really should be. Their form has been really, really good. They obviously got through an incredible game to the opposite to the North Tigers, an incredible game with the Dolphins and the Warriors, who were 2nd and 3rd. So, obviously the Wires have the bye this week, but that should be a Dolphins win. But the Knights are still up there in the top 5. Let's just see if their defense can hold. And the byes this week are the Canterbury Bulldogs, the North Queensland Cowboys, the Canberra Raiders, the Sydney Roosters, the Melbourne Storm, the Gold Coast Titans, and also the New Zealand Wars, the New Zealand Warriors. So that is the games we'll be live for all weekend long. Obviously, lots of buys here. Then we've got Origin next Wednesday. That's going to be absolutely mental for a decider. Looking forward to that one. But guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let's get into this game here today. Now, it's the Panthers who come into this game from 1st position. The Rabbitohs from 7th position. And this is at CommBank Stadium in Sydney. The ends of the Panthers, Jack Cole, Kalani Leoloi going, Luron Patea, Sione Fonua, and Zachary Clark, with the outs being Isaiah Yeo, Isaiah Papali'i, Liam Martin, Luke Garner, and Nathan Cleary. That is 5 starters there, and they're lucky it's not 6 with Brian Tuttle, and they're also lucky it's not Dylan Edwards as well for 7. But Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin, and Cleary, obviously Origin. Isaiah Papali'i and Luke Garner still big outs as well, though, so they're not with Origin, but they're just big outs regardless. Specifically Papali'i outside of those Origin guys. So, yeah, look, overall, they've got some huge, huge outs here, but they were able to get a win over the New Zealand Warriors with their outs. They did lose to the Titans, though, with their outs. So, if the Rabbitohs can fire up here, and they've got a really big player coming back in, they've lost a couple of big players. They've got a really big player coming back in Jackie Whiten, so that'll be huge for them. It's going to be tough here for the Panthers today. Now, Dylan Edwards is the fullback. He's the captain, with the wingers being Thomas Jenkins and Brian To'o, centers of Paul Alamotti and Jack Cole. The 5'8" is Blaise Salongi, with the halfback being Jack Cogger. Front row forwards, Moses Leota and Liam Henry, with the number 9 being Freddie Lussick. Back row, Scotty Sorensen and Billy Phillips, with the 13 being Lindsay Smith. And then go to the interchange of Isaac Tungo, Billy Scott, Kalani Leoloi going, Luron Patea, Sione Fonua, and Zachary Clark, with the coach being Ivan Cleary. Yeah, this is going to be tough here, man. Jack Cogger and Blaise Salongi. I've been really disappointed by Blaise Salongi so far this season. Before the year started, I thought he was going to go to another level. I thought he was going to take his step up, and I called him as my breakout player for the Panthers this year. Now, look, granted, the Panthers are a very, very difficult team to find a breakout player for because they have so many established players in their roster. I guess Thomas Jenkins would have been the one who really broke out this year for sure. But they're a very, very difficult team to find that breakout when you got the likes of Edwards and Cleary and Liam Martin and Isaiah Yeo and Mitch Kenny, who's been a big loss to them as well in this season so far. Is he out for the entirety of the year, or does he come back at some point? Because I know it's been probably a good 10 weeks now, to be fair, with him gone. But can someone in the chat please let us know, is Mitch Kenny out for the season, or is he out just for another couple more weeks, or is he the back end of the year? I'm not too sure, but he's a massive, massive loss here for this Panthers team, and you can clearly see the defensive line is completely different without him. And whilst Nathan Cleary Cleary is the most important factor to this Panthers team. Mitch Kenny is probably the most underrated factor to this Penrith Panthers team, and I do think they need him alongside Cleary to go and get this premiership that everyone has just automatically assumed it was going to be the Panthers all season long. But as we always say, it's a 27-round season plus finals. Anything can happen. All these guys want it. All these guys are hungry. Are the Panthers hungry enough to get that revenge based off of, falling behind last year, and then being 5 minutes away from another grand final before the Broncos broke their hearts? Are they hungry enough to go back and do it again? Because this is a professional competition, and all these players, the Dolphins are hungry. You've got the Warriors very hungry. They've never won a premiership before. The Knights are hungry since 2001. They've had some awful years. Last year, they had the wooden spoon. 2010s, they had multiple wooden spoons in a row, 3 wooden spoons in a row. It was the worst team I've ever seen in rugby league history. That Knights team in the middle of 2010s. So they're hungry. Not that I think they're going to be winning it, but the point is that everybody wants a slice. And the Panthers are clearly finding out right now that it's not as easy as they would imagine. I still have this Panthers team to win the competition this year. I don't see anybody beating them when it comes to the crunch. And I said this last week, please don't let this media, and the media have been trying their thing, and the fans have been trying their thing, please don't think this 2-game slide in the middle part of the season during Origin period means anything about this Panthers team when it comes to the clutch and the crunch of the season. Please don't let them sell you a dream that somebody else is now the favourites because the Panthers have lost to the Titans and to the Cowboys, 2 teams they shouldn't be losing to, especially the Gold Coast Titans, who are in the, trying to get out of a rebuild right now, the rebuild of a rebuild of a rebuild, and the Cowboys, who have kind of just mediocrely got through the season, but they've been in a high place, but they've also just kind of got through the season, right? So don't just think because we're in round, 18 now? Yeah, round 18. We're getting to that backstretch. Next week is the start of the home straight after Origin obviously finishes on Wednesday. But please just don't think that now the season's done for the Panthers and they're just going to be gone. The people who believe that are, 1, Panthers haters, success haters, jealousy, and also because they just don't understand rugby league. That's 4 different things there. There are 4 types of people that are going to want to do that. 5 because the media just wants to get clicks on it, right? This Panthers team is still a juggernaut, and they probably are still going to win this competition this year. But it has been a fun ride watching them lose a couple of games for sure. It has been a fun ride, but for all we know, a team could slap them. A team could beat them when it comes to the crunch. And Blaze Lungy, he's going to step up. Jack Cogger today, he's going to have to step up. Dylan Edwards is going to have to lead. They're still without Casey McLean as well. This Panthers team, it's funny. And God bless, this is not me making a joke out of injuries. But usually the team who wins the premiership are the least injured team throughout the season, right? The Panthers consistently don't have those injuries. They consistently are pretty sweet with it. Well, they've had a couple of players out recently, and we've seen them fall off a little bit of a cliff these last couple of games, which is showing that the depth at the Panthers is maybe not exactly where they would like it to be ideally. Their depth is way better than a team like, for example, the West Tigers, who you've seen when they've lost players this year, they've been absolutely awful. And I don't think Tigers would argue with that. I don't think Tigers fans would argue with it. I've been called a Tigers hater in the past, but I have no hate for the Tigers at all. Just because I observe them and say, hey, listen, I think there's a problem here depth-wise. I think there's a problem here in regards to you're getting a little bit too ahead of where you should be right now. And we'll talk about the Tigers and that on another stream, but the point of the matter is that team doesn't have any depth. The Gold Coast Titans, they have made it, since Josh Hanning's come in, they've made it a focal point to sign that depth. You've just seen Luke Hanson's been signed. Obviously they had Ilias, Zane Harrison's in, they've got Jaden Campbell, they've got a bucket load of halves there, and they've got that depth there. The fullback, they've got plenty of depth. The centres is the issue, but they're also signing a guy like Mwani Hiroti. They're losing Phil Sami next year. But the point is that Josh Hannon and the Titans have tried to really force that depth because the way of the new game, how fast the game is and how much it puts a toll on the body, and with how many games of rugby league we play in a season. We're seeing a lot more teams get significantly injured. So with that, we're having to see a lot more emphasis being put on the depth of clubs, which is, I guess, what we're seeing from the Panthers in the last couple of weeks. But with that also being said, I still think the Panthers are one of the better depth teams in the competition, and they should be sweet. But the last 2 weeks, of course, have made you a little bit nervous. So this Panthers team, still a juggernaut, not in these last 2 weeks. Even if they went and lost today, I still have the Panthers to win the comp. Even if they went and lost 3 games in a row, and lost this game here today to the Rabbitohs, I still will stay firm that I believe the Panthers will still win this competition. Because right now, they're not even really playing for a great deal. You know, at the end of the day, they are 2 wins on top of the table over the Warriors and the Dolphins. Now, a loss here would probably mean that would be 1 win. If the Dolphins beat the Knights, it'd be 1 win. But right now, it's not even... Like, it's in their hands. They're forcing everybody else to just win out, essentially. Right? They're just forcing the Dolphins to win all their games remaining, forcing the Warriors to win all their games remaining, to even have a sniff at it. And the same thing goes to the Roosters, and the same thing goes to the Knights. The Knights being in 5th place is just an absolute travesty right now. But the fact of the matter is that the competition is a little bit weird outside of, I guess, that top 3 from what we've seen. It's a little bit weird. The Roosters, don't start me on them. Actually, hold on a second. Are they on fraud, or did I take them off fraud? Did I take the Roosters off of fraud last week? I can't remember. I think I might have. Hold on. What was their result again last week? The Roosters... Oh, that's right. We did, because they did technically win 2 games in a row. And that's where they came off of fraud. But I still see you, Roosters. I still see you. Don't think you're away from fraud for too long at the moment. Don't think you've gotten away from it there, sunshine. I tell you right now. I'll put you on scam before you even think about fraud alert. But that's the Panthers, and I'm still confident in them. I really am. I don't know about today. I think today they could struggle, but I'm still confident in them long term. Now, for the Rabbitohs, they got some big ins here. Jack Whiten is a massive in. Probably the biggest in you could think of. I know people say Latrell, but I actually think Jack Whiten right now is more important to this team defensively than you think. And Matty Duffy also comes in. Now, the outs, Alex Johnston and Cameron Murray. The fullback is Jai Gray, with the wingers being Dane Jennings and Edward Corsi. Centres of Latrell Siegwald and Jack Whiten. The 5'8" is Cody Walker, who's the captain, and the halfback is Ashton Ward. Front row forwards are Tavita Totola and Keon Kalamatangi, with the number 9 being Brandon Smith. The back row is David Fafita and Tallis Duncan, with the 13 being Lachlan Hubner. Interchange of Jamie Humphreys, Ewan Aiken, Liam LeBlanc, John Ruddle, Matthew Duffy, and Jaden Sullivan, with the coach being Wayne Bennett. Rabbitohs, Jack Whiten in is so important to you defensively. We see when he's been in their team this year, he has been a defensive damn well juggernaut. But when he's not been there, they have been blown to smithereens. Now, look, forgive, because the first game of the season, the Rabbitohs did just not look great defensively at all. They got 30 points to the Dolphins, but that was when the Dolphins were still that team that would attack from the outset. They wouldn't earn their right to attack. They would just attack, and they would let it be a shootout, and that's not a way to win games. So when Jack Whiten played in this game, I think it's a little bit of a falsity for where the Rabbitohs, like how the Rabbitohs actually are when Jack Whiten is in this game, in this team defensively, because outside of that, you know, that Tigers game in round 3 was absolutely spectacular with him. The Bulldogs, for the most part, was very, very good with him. I think that, did he play? I think he did play in that Rabbitohs game, that Raiders game. Long story short, like we go through the whole season, there are a couple of big blowout scores there with him in it. But I just think that he is such a crucial piece defensively to this team, and I think that he really does sort them out from the centres. Now, a centre should not be the definition between a win and a loss. However, it is a key player in regards to sorting out that edge and sorting out that side. And Jack Whiten is huge in regards to that. So he's not the greatest attacker, but typically they'll have Latrell Mitchell there that can be that attack with that amazing left side of Cody Walker into David Fafita, into Latrell Mitchell, into Alex Johnston. The other side is a little bit different, right? Where, hold on one second. The other side is a little bit different, where it really is a fantastic attacking side, but typically they'd have Campbell Graham alongside Jack Whiten out there. So this Rabbitohs team has been pieced apart by injuries. Look at their backline right now. Jai Gray, Dane Jennings, Latrell Siegwald, Jack Whiten, and Edward Corsi. They're 1 through 5. Well, Jai Gray is typically their fullback, and Jack Whiten is typically their centre. The other 3 guys aren't usually there. Usually it is Alex Johnston, Latrell Mitchell, and also Campbell Graham. So 3 out of their 5, back 5, are not the typical players that you would have there. Now we go to the halves, though, and we say, well, this is their halves. They originally went with Jamie Humphreys. Now they go with Ashton Ward in the halfback. Jamie Humphreys has been on the bench for a large portion of this season. But Cody Walker, when he's on, he is fantastic. But when he's off, he's an absolute muppet. And he'll start trying to punch on with the opposition. He'll start trying to punch on with them for God knows what reason. This halves will be the biggest concern for the Rabbitohs. Actually, no, sorry, it's the second biggest concern because this Rabbitohs team, their strength and conditioning is obviously incorrect. I am not a professional, university student who is studying strength and conditioning. I haven't done a degree. I haven't got my master's in strength and conditioning. But I also have eyes. And I also can see this Rabbitohs team every single year has the most injuries in the competition. How is that possible? How is it possible that it's just the Rabbitohs who are experiencing it on such a significant level every single year? Now, yes, Parramatta have got more injuries this year on a collective team basis, but the Rabbitohs are in second. Last year, they were in first. I'm pretty certain the last year before that, they were in first, and I'm pretty certain the last year before that, it was either them or the Roosters in first, but they were top two. So why is it that the Rabbitohs are consistently here every single year with all these injuries? So that's why, even though I don't have my masters in this, and I don't believe that I can come into this Rabbitohs team and I can sort them out strength and conditioning wise and fitness wise and making sure that their bodies don't get injured. I don't know enough about that. But what I can tell you is that I can see that this team is consistently there compared to a Panthers team that is consistently at the bottom of the table in terms of how many injuries they've got. So why is it that a team over here and a team over here on completely opposite sides of the spectrum by like 200 injuries, mind you. Like the Rabbitohs last year had about 300 collective games missed. 300 collective games missed in their first grade squad. But yet the Panthers had like 70 or 80. The Tigers had like 60. It was like a 240 game gap between the Rabbitohs and the Tigers. And they both finished on the same point of the table last year. The Rabbitohs finished in fourth last. The Tigers finished in fifth last. But they were equal on points, just the points differential that separated them. So why is it that the Rabbitohs are consistently here and the Panthers are there? And it tells me that the Rabbitohs clearly do not have a fantastic strength and conditioning coach. And their coaches are not putting the right processes in to prevent these injuries. And if you disagree with it, please let me know why. Because I think that from an outsider's perspective, you look at it and you go, well, it's pretty obvious. You know, is it the players that you've signed? Okay, well, sure, but why is it all the players that you sign? Why is it a consistent theme across all players that you sign? I don't know. I just don't think it's an individual basis. I just don't think they are separate to each other. I think they are collectively with each other, and there is a reason why we're seeing this at the Rabbitohs so consistently. And we actually, fun fact, saw this with the Titans back around. It might have been late 2000s, early 2010s, specifically when we started to win that wooden spoon in 2011, and then the years right after that, after the Titans made the preliminary final in 2010, you saw that there was a consistent amount of injuries. And we actually got rid of it, and then obviously we made the finals in 2016, and we got knocked out first week. But the point is that once we got rid of our strength and conditioning coach and the guys that were looking after that, we then went in a better direction before Jared Hayne and the Neil Henry situation completely screwed us, and obviously the Cherry Evans thing, but that wasn't really a part of it. The point of the matter is that the Rabbitohs have a chance over the next couple of years to win a premiership. They need to get this sorted out, though. Because, yeah, you're getting Payne Haas next year, but what's the point if Payne Haas is going to be injured all year? What's the point if you don't have the halves? What's the point if you don't have Latrell Mitchell, Jack Whiten, Alex Johnston? He's only there for one more year after this, actually, because he goes in 2028 to Papua New Guinea. But Alex Johnston and also Campbell Graham. What's the point if you don't have a full-strength team bringing Payne Haas in, and then Payne Haas gets injured as well? Because we've seen him have a few injuries at the Brisbane Broncos, and you know, we wish nothing but the best for him. Touch wood, these guys are fit and healthy, but I'm just saying it's a noticeable problem right now. So anyway, you look across this Rabbitohs team and their forward pack is solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid. Tavita Tola, Brandon Smith, Kolomatangi, Dave Fafita, Talis Duncan, and Lachlan Hubner. Hubner's probably the odd man out there, but Cameron Murray would typically be there. Again, they lose Kolomatangi next year, but they get Payne Haas in next year. It's still a solid forward pack. It really is. It's a solid forward pack. So, you know, you look in this game and you say, who wins it? Who wins this? The Panthers have players out and they're on a 2-game skid right now, potentially a third with this one. They are technically at home, but it's not their home because they're from Penrith. This is a comeback because the Penrith Stadium is currently being rebuilt. You know, but they are still top of the table and they've still been known to win these kind of games. Or do you go to the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who are definitely not a trustworthy team, have got a lot of players out, whether it be to injury or whether it be to Origin with Cameron Murray. Their halves are a worry, but they get Jack Whiten back in. Their forwards are solid. Are the Panthers hungry enough? Look, I do feel like I'm probably, as I've been talking throughout all of this, I've been thinking I'm going to tip the Rabbitohs in a bit of a shock. But I feel like I might just have to go back with the Panthers. But I think this could just be also because of that just notion that Panthers are a very, very successful and a very, very good team. So I don't know whether this is like an internal bias, not a bias from like, I care about the result, because I could not care less about this result in terms of the result itself. But I don't know if it's an internal bias like we have with the Melbourne Storm, where you just wanted to tip the Storm every single week, even though they would lose every single week. And you just thought, well, shit, I've known this team's been successful for 25 plus years. They're not winning, but surely they're just going to win. They went and lost 7 games in a row. I feel like I'm getting a bit of a similar thing with this with the Panthers right now, but I'm going to tip the Panthers here. I'm going to tip them 1-12. I feel like they should be hungry enough to avoid a third straight loss here, but the Rabbitohs can absolutely win this game. I feel like this is very 50-50. I don't think that there should be a well-hot favourite for this one. When you look at, you can't really look at the attacking and defensive statistics for the Panthers because they've got plenty of players out with Origin and other starters that doesn't reflect what this team typically is. And the Rabbitohs, I guess you kind of can look at it because they've just had injuries throughout the entirety of the season, and this kind of just has been what their team is this year. So 418 points for them on the score as what they've scored is very, very good. That's behind the Panthers, it's behind the Warriors, it's behind the Dolphins, and that's it. They're the 4th best attacking team in the comp this year, the Rabbitohs. That's a surprise, actually, and that's actually with 1 less game. Wow. They are the 4th best attacking team in a competition with 1 less game on everyone above them. So that means that they would have to only score 22 points a day to go above the Dolphins. If they scored 20 points a day, they would go above the Warriors. They would have to score about 50-odd points to go above the... they would have to score exactly 50 points to go above the Panthers. So they, realistically speaking, I think they do probably... They can definitely score 22-plus points here today to go above the Dolphins. So then, realistically speaking, they are the 2nd best attacking team in the competition this year, despite all their injuries. So it does show to you that this Rabbitohs team has something really good going for next year. They have something really, really positive going for next year. So it is exciting for them. But attacking-wise, I would argue that they are 2nd best in the comp right now, statistically. It's just that they've played 1 less game, which is why they're in 4th. But then defensively, they've given up 312 points. Now, this is a difference because they're behind the Panthers, the Warriors, the Dolphins, and that is with an extra game on all these guys, by the way. The Roosters, but they're going to give up 12 points. Like, realistically behind them, but I'm not going to include the Roosters, but pretty much they are. Knights defensively, Manly. And they are actually the 5th best defensive team, but I think there's a caveat that they are actually the 6th best defensive team because they surely will go below the Roosters. I would say the Roosters have a bye this week. So I would say they're the 6th best defensive team in the competition, but technically they're 5th right this very second. Attacking wise, though, technically they're 4th right this second, but I would say that they're probably 2nd unless this Panthers team can defend like an absolute train today, which we know they can do, and then they would stay in 4th position there. But I'm going to tip the Panthers here today. I'm not 100% confident, but that is what I'm going to do. Now, in terms of the table, the Panthers, they are in 1st position on 28 points with a points differential of 258. Win or lose today, they will remain there. They just simply will be there no matter what. They've essentially got a 3-win gap on the Warriors and Dolphins because the Warriors are on plus 168. The Dolphins are on plus 131. And now the Warriors will receive the bye, so they'll be 2 points behind them, but the Panthers have won 2 more games than them. It just meant the Panthers wouldn't have had their 3rd bye just yet. I feel like that probably comes next week, doesn't it? When is their next bye? So the bye next week is the Panthers, the Dragons, and the Broncos. Yes, the Panthers will get their final bye next week, which will be good for them right after Origin. It means we don't have to see them sacrifice their players from the game, which is what we saw against the Titans and also against the Warriors. But with a winner or loss here, they stay in 1st. A win just separates that differential even more and then creates essentially a 4-win gap for the time being because their points differential to the 3-win itself gap is overall. So Panthers win, they're 1st. Panthers lose, they are 1st. But if they do lose, then the Dolphins and the Warriors will be right on their heels. But again, that points differential is too big. The Rabbitohs, on the other hand, they're in a bit of a more spicy situation. Now, they're on 22 points, which is equal to the Sharks and also Manly. Manly have a plus 142, the Rabbitohs have a plus 106, and the Sharks have a measly plus 45. 45 is typically what you see from this area of the 8, but this year you've got Rabbitohs and Manly doing well points differential-wise. So if the Rabbitohs were to win this game, they would go above Manly. Manly play the Eels on Sunday, I think it is. So they would go above Manly for the time being to 6th. They would also go equal the Knights, the Roosters, the Dolphins, the Warriors. But the Roosters and the Warriors both have a bye. So it would be the Dolphins and the Knights. Their points differential is already better than Newcastle. So they would go into 5th position, the Rabbitohs. But the Knights then play the Dolphins that actually, I think you'd actually probably want the Knights to win this, even though they'd go back above you. It's better in terms of you're closer. You're super close there to the Dolphins, and you could definitely jump over them. But the Knights play the Dolphins, which will make it a little bit spicy. So the Rabbitohs would be in 5th, and then they would have to... No, they would go above the Roosters too. Yeah, the Roosters are plus 60. No, the Roosters are the bye, that's right. So they'd be in 5th, and that's the highest they could go, because if the Dolphins lose, the Knights go above them. If the Knights lose, they can't go above the Dolphins. So yeah, 5th with a win, but then it comes down to that Manly result. But with a loss here, it gets scary, or I guess a little bit scary. And so the Sharks, with their plus 45, it doesn't matter about that, with a Sharks win over the Broncos, the Sharks would go into 7th, the Rabbitohs would go into 8th. And then the Cowboys, they have the bye. So they'll be on 22 points, but they've got a minus 17 points differential. So don't even worry about that. The Bulldogs have their final bye. They'll be still 2 points behind them. Cowboys have got 9 wins, so they're actually equal with Manly, mind you. The Rabbitohs and Sharks have had all 3 of their byes. So, yeah, look, the Rabbitohs, the lowest they can go is into 8th position, and it is actually quite likely, because you probably would expect the Sharkies to go and beat the Broncos tomorrow. You would expect the Sharkies to go and beat the Bronx. So, very interesting game for the Rabbitohs. If they lose this, Cowboys will be right on their tail. If they win this, well, they'll be not in the top 4, but they will be extremely close to the top 4. But there we go, guys. That is the preview here for this game here today. Let's get to the chat and see what you are saying. Obviously, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here. And let's fire it up here for a big old weekend of Rugby League before we finish it off with the State of Origin on Wednesday. Let's move this bad boy back up there. Hold on. I've just seen Brenton say, we should be frauds. Oh, here we go. Someone's complaining about the Knights being on frauds. CG plays this. If the Knights can beat the Dolphins, I think they shouldn't be labelled as frauds, to be honest. Okay, cool, but they haven't played the Dolphins yet. So right now, they are definitely labelled as frauds. If they go and beat the Dolphins, they'll absolutely come off of frauds. Absolutely, they'll come off of it. But we haven't seen that yet. Brenton says, CG, we should be frauds in the moment, just scraping wins against bottom-of-the-table teams. Yeah, look, absolutely, I agree. That's why they are there. I've told you guys this the entirety of the season. This Knights defense is not good enough. The attack is good. The attack is what's saving them right now, because it is very, very good, but their defense is simply not good enough. So when they get to the finals, they will get trounced if they can't sort this defense out. But this is a Justin Holbrook special. I love Justin. Great dude. Defensively, he doesn't know what he's doing, but attacking-wise, he absolutely knows what he's doing. And it's this Knights team is a better rostered 2021 Titans team right now for mine. They are a better rostered 2021 Titans team, which had the ability to attack. They got into the top 8. They didn't have the ability to defend. They threw away big results, or they scraped. You actually haven't had too much of those comebacks, but you've just lost kind of those shootouts. I'm worried about the Knights when they get into the finals. They can't sort this defense out 100%, because this is not like we don't know this about Justin Holbrook. It's not like we don't know. But again, like, this is nothing against Justin, because I know that he's an awesome dude. And I love that he's got another gig at the Newcastle Knights. I love it. But there is a reason to be concerned. Brett says, Tot will be fired up for this one. Definitely a try scorer today. Well, it depends on what side they go. Like, which side will Jack Cogger prefer, Jenkins or Brian Toto? I feel like when you're looking at Jack Cogger, he's not their starter, so he's typically going to go for the more safety netting. Now, Jenkins has been great this year, but Brian Toto would be more of that safety netting. So I'd probably lean towards you, saying, yeah, Toto will be probably be good for a try. And this one, Clint says, I've got 3 different multis in this game just because it could go either way. Well, good luck. Good luck, sir. Oh, no. Someone started spamming at the beginning. Okay, so Timmy Beat Buns has been timed out because he started spamming. Remove the Sharks from scam. The day that I remove the Sharks from scam is the day you won't be timed out here on this chat. He's then said, please. Man, fuck you, please. The Sharks are the epitome of a scam. I like the Sharkies. They're my mum's team. I have a soft spot for them and I want them to do it. But every single Sharks fan, every single Cronulla fan on the planet, besides maybe you and maybe Andrew Eddinghausen or Paul Gallen, I don't know. But every single Sharks fan can understand exactly why they're on scam. They are the definition of scam. They are the epitome of scam because they promise so much in terms of their roster. They have such an unbelievable roster that goes down and loses games that they shouldn't. They sell you a dream and they sell you a lie that they're a very, very good team. And then they go and show they're not. And that is why they are a scam. They're a scam. And you need to come to terms with that. Does that mean they can't win a comp? No. Anybody can technically win a comp. But I can promise you right now that if I'm going to say that there's a team that probably looks the most likely but definitely won't, it nearly would be the Sharks. Nearly would be. So good luck on getting off of scam. Because they've gotten off of scam and they've come back on scam. Because that's what a scammer does. They get away from the trouble and then they go right back into the damn well thick of it. And that's Cronulla. So no, we will not be taking the Sharks off of the scam. I might actually tattoo Sharks scam permanently on this channel. They may permanently remain. Even if they won a competition, I'd still call them scam. On the basis that we thought that they couldn't, so they scammed us into thinking they couldn't when they did. That is the great white scammers. They are the great white scammers. You need to come to terms with this. And he says, happy Friday, everyone. How are we all? Get around, Yanni. Get around, yeah. Brenton says, doing well, mate. Nice win for the girls last night. Hopefully the boys as well on Sunday. We have won the 5 of the 6 times we've played the Finns. A lot of outs for them, only a couple for us. Sure, you're right. That's a good point. However, the Dolphins, they played the Razor a lot worse of a team. But they've played well even with their players out. So I don't think it's a guarantee, but that's a great point to saying that the Knights could actually win that game for sure. Got to sort your defense out though. Just another human says, hope the Knights boys come out with same energy as the women's. They're gritty. Jeez, we've got a lot of Knights fans here right now. Gregory says, Rabbitohs will win this. I could see it well. I can absolutely see it. Travis says, probably a stupid question. I doubt it, especially if it's not talking about taking the Sharks off a scam. But why do they not have the Origin games at the end of the season? I feel like the Origin matches cause so much damage to teams' form and rhythm. I think I have a pretty good idea why. One, tradition, but also, secondly, it's not a stupid question at all. You know, this is a common notion that gets brought up all the time. I don't think people will care about Origin postseason. I just don't think they would. I think that people are in the thick of it right about when it comes up at the end of May. Every team's still technically got a chance, unless your name this year was the Dragons, or in previous years, the Titans or the Knights and all these kind of teams. Like, there is a lot of care factor for rugby league because you'll see on my streams now, we won't get as many views as we did at the beginning part of the season because people start to track off their teams, right? And they start to write them off and say, okay, look, we're not going to win the comp this year. We're not going to make the top 8. There's no point watching that. I'll go and watch a Panthers game. Or I'll go and watch a Manly game. Or I'll go and watch a team that's at least competing for the top 8 because their team is done. So if you put Origin post-season, then one, you're extending the year further. I know we've got the Rugby League World Cup this year, which also is a key point. But if I promise you that if you put Origin, the 3 games post the grand final, nobody would give a shit. They just wouldn't. Like people would. Sorry, I should clarify. People would give a shit, but it would nowhere be nowhere close to the care factor, because you're basically what you're doing halfway through the season is rewarding people halfway. So instead of having to wait the full 27 rounds plus also the finals, instead of having to wait the entirety of the year, you're being rewarded with a mid-season competition, which a lot of competitions do. In the Premier League, you've got in English football, you've got the FA Cup, you've got the League Cup, all this kind of stuff. In the NBA, you've now got the NBA Championship. People click off very quickly if their team's not being successful in the domestic game. So they want to keep you invested, and it just gives you that refreshing successful victory or something of real intent to watch in the middle part that keeps you engaged, because it's about keeping you engaged. And I just don't think that people would have that same care factor at the end, because once that grand final finishes, people are already into Christmas mode nearly. They're getting towards the back end of the year mode. I don't know why that thumbs up has just happened, but it's existing. They're more into Christmas mode. They're more into holiday mode. They're more into, we've watched enough rugby league this year. Let's now move into the next sport of cricket or NBA, NFL, hockey, Premier League, all this kind of stuff. People have enough rugby league by then. So if you do that, then I just feel like people would click off. I just don't think so. But in terms of the body-wise, it makes the most sense. I just don't think that people will care too much. Highland says, has them on the chat going all right. Bait Clips has come on Thomas Jenkins. Matthew Dixon says, I think David Fafita should be the try scorer tonight for the Rabbitohs. Yeah, we'll see. Justin the Human says, a bit worried about our defense, but enjoying the season overall so far. Yeah, 100%. Oh, definitely. You're enjoying the season overall as a Knights fan. You were last year. Of course, you're going to be enjoying it this regardless. Brenton says, yeah, the defense is slowly improving. Just need to keep our defense is not slowly improving, but just need to keep our attack in shape. Lorenzo says, do you reckon Edwards would have made a difference if picked up a Tedesco for Origin? Why? Bonner says, Lego to Panthers, supporting proudly from Milne Bay and Papua New Guinea. Get around here, Papua New Guinea. We always love seeing you guys get around it, and I look forward to the Chiefs coming in 2028. Brenton says, that's fighting words saying Knights are a travesty being in fifth. They are a travesty being in fifth, and you know it. Peter S says, tits up, my friend. Our $1 is back in the panties. What the hell is happening here? Dave Watson says, Panthers have been stale of late. Better to have a slump now, though. Exactly right, because we will see good teams have a slump over these next 9 rounds. I think it's 10 rounds. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Confuses you because, like, on the number basis, it looks like 9, but it's actually 10. So 10 rounds to go. You will see some big teams have slumps. Whether that be, like, you could argue the Warriors are in one right now too, which is great. The Dolphins are due a bit of a slump, which will be a nerve-wracking watch for them if they do fall apart at this time of the season, which they typically do. But they do just keep on moving along right now, which is a good sign. But we will see teams at the top of the table will have slumps. So the Panthers, if this is a slump and it's not a permanent downward trajectory, it's a really good time to have it. Coggan needs to step up and create more attacking play from the ruck. Yeah, 100% agree. CJ plays if the Knights can beat the Dolphins. I've read that comment before. Let's move off to the Knights, guys. Way too many Knights fans here right now. Way too many Knights fans. We'll talk about them during their game. Jody Sam says, I'm sorry, but this time Panthers will win. Why are you sorry? I tipped the Panthers. I'm not confident, but I have tipped them. But I'm definitely not confident at all. And he says, hey, Edson, screw your Broncos tomorrow night. I hope they get the win for you. Oh, well, you just said screw the Broncos, Annie. I don't know why you would say that. Gee whiz, but fair enough too. I agree with you. Captain Phillips says, I'm a Broncos fan. I'm so sorry to hear, by the way. I'm not hating as an outsider. It's just tough when your team absolutely stinks. Oh, Broncos stink right now like a dead possum. Okay, yeah, but nobody's arguing with you, Captain Phillips. So... I'm not hating as an outsider, but you're not an outsider. You're a Broncos fan who said the Broncos stink like a dead possum. What a way to put it, by the way. You know, I definitely didn't wake up thinking I'd hear someone refer to their own team as stinking like a dead possum. Dead possum is an interesting one, too. I haven't heard that in a long, long time. But look, the Broncos are struggling for sure, and I think the Sharkies beat them this weekend. Emily says, when does it start? In 20 minutes' time. 20 minutes is when the game will start. So I know the time slots down there is wrong, but that's because it's right for me. I'm in Vietnam, so it'll be on 5 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. your time in Australia. Let's scroll this down a little bit. Jack says, are you sure the Socceroos? Of course I'm sure the Socceroos, sir. Yes, of course I am. Of course I am. There's no way in the world I would miss Australia versus Egypt tomorrow morning. So that I haven't set the stream up yet, but the stream will come up right after this game finishes. I'll set that up, and we'll probably be doing the Argentina game as well. By the way, that Croatia versus Portugal game was an absolute rort. I would have lost my mind on stream. If I was streaming that game, I would have lost my mind. That is an absolute rort that Croatian goal was taken away from them. Absolute FIFA rort. They just didn't want Ronaldo and Portugal getting knocked out early. It is an absolute rort. Dieki says, a high-scoring game, you reckon? Very tough game to read point scoring wise, because if the Panthers come in defensively, we know what they can do. If the Rabbitohs come in with Jack White back in, that sorts their defense out a lot more. Sure, I'd probably say it's more so looking like a high scoring game than a low scoring game, but there's no Nathan Cleary here to direct the attack. If the Panthers, so you have to rely. Do you think Jack Cogger is the guy to direct this attack and be be as prolific as we would see otherwise? Yeah, look, I don't know. I think this is a hard game to read, but I'd probably lean more so to the attack than the defense. Someone says, but he was offside for the Croatia game. No. So they're saying that the head of the Croatia player touches it because he's onside from the pass by a mile. He's onside from the pass from a mile. They're saying that the head touches the ball. I don't think that the head touches the ball at all. There is no change of direction from the ball whatsoever from the Croatia player with the ball. The only evidence that they used was a grainy, zoomed-in thing that didn't even guarantee it either, and they went against it. Like I feel like it was an absolute rort, because I don't think that play got ahead to it whatsoever, and I think Croatia absolutely scored. Cos says, miss these streams, bro. First one I've caught in a while. Dragons still suck and the world keeps spinning. World keeps spinning, Dragons still suck. You are right there, Cos. Yes, you are still right. And also, Titans still tightening. But at least we've got to win against the Panthers. We'll take that. But Titans still definitely tightening. Dragons still definitely dragoning. And Eels still definitely, doing things the Parramatta way. Tiger Hood says, that's true. I'm already sick of the Warriors. What? What? In regards to the footy fatigue. Okay, yeah, we all have footy fatigue after the grand final. Yeah, I would agree. The thing is, though, is that we've got the Rugby League World Cup this year, so you'll definitely have footy fatigue post-World Cup, 100%. But the World Cup should be some good fun, regardless. Han says, hoping for a good game tonight. You've said hey, mate, about a couple times now, man. Yeah. Hello. You don't need to put hey, mate at the beginning of every comment. Hoping for a good game tonight. Best of luck for the game tomorrow. Eden says, yeah, I reckon that was a goal. 100%. 100%. It did not look like that touched his head whatsoever. Well, it is what it is. That's what's happened. If we get screwed by that tomorrow against Egypt, I might crack one. I might crack myself, uppercut myself, really. Where he says it's a war of nutrition, as Gordon Tales would say. It is. It is a war of nutrition. DM says, up the Rabbits, I smell an upset. Well, I don't even think it's an upset. I think it's unfair to claim this as an upset. The Rabbitohs are still a top 8 team. Yeah, the Panthers are in first, but they've got no Nathan Cleary, no Isaiah Yeo, no Liam Martin, no Luke Garner, and no Mitch Kenny. And there's another player out, isn't there, too? Who was the other player? Isaiah Papali'i. So no Isaiah Yeo, no Isaiah Papali'i, no Liam Martin, no Luke Garner, no Nathan Cleary, and then also don't forget Mitch Kenny, and then also don't forget Casey McLean. So there's 7 Panthers out there. 7 of their Panthers players are out. And then for the Rabbitohs, they've got no Alex Johnston, no Cameron Murray, no Latrell Mitchell, no Campbell Graham, and that might be it. But the point is that there's players out for both these teams here. It's just the Panthers have more of the players out. So who do you trust more players out? Harry says, Heart says South, Head says Panthers. Had a few weeks off watching the World Cup in the States. Oh, good on you, Harry. That would have been awesome, man. I hope... Now that I hear that, I really hope that you had a fantastic time, because most people have a negative opinion about America because of the political situation, because the news will tell you that. But America is a great place. I love Chicago, as you guys know. I love America in general. I'll be back there in February for the Titans in the first game of the NRL season next year. I'm really looking forward to that one. I'll probably stick around America for a couple of months or so. But it's really good to see that people who haven't been to America have gone to America during this World Cup, and they've realized that it's all political bullshit. It's all just nonsensical stuff from the media. And whilst the country has problems, every country has problems, and you can go and have an amazing time. And I can see a lot of people have been enjoying themselves in America, which has been amazing to see. It's coming home. Don't know if it's coming home, mate. We'll stop you there, though, Harry. Hope everyone is well. We missed the weekly laughs. Get around you, Harry. Mitchell says, Luke Garner is the biggest out for Penrith tonight. You're also a muppet. Just Another Human says, how important will the long kicking game be tonight? Well, there's no real long kicking. I guess Ashen Ward's the long kicking game for the Rabbitohs. There's no real long kicking game. Like Jack Cogger, I wouldn't just say that it's an unbelievable long kicking game. Sure, if someone can get it right, they'll have an advantage, because I wouldn't say either of these teams, with the players they've got here today, would be known for their long kicking game overall. Hunter says, have a question, not trying to be mean, but how come when someone celebrates for their team when they're versing your team, you get mad and time the person out, but when you celebrate, it's okay? Because at the end of the day, you're watching a stream with me being very passionate behind my team, right? So I'm not coming to... And I don't ever ask for anybody to come here. If you want to come and enjoy and you watch the streams and you love it, that's great. When the Titans are playing, when my team is playing, of course I'm going to be a lot more animated in regards to, there are a lot of comments and there are a lot of people either going at me, or they are just celebrating their team, or all kinds of different things. And obviously when the Titans are playing, I'm quite emotional, 100%. And that's why people come here. So I wouldn't go to a stream of that if I wanted to passionately support my team against that team, right? I think this is pretty common sense. So it's like, if there is a person who is streaming a Broncos game, right? And they're a Broncos streamer, passionately Broncos fan, and I didn't stream myself. I would watch all their other content, but I wouldn't necessarily watch that individual game, that stream, because I know that person is going to be emotionally and adamantly against my team in that one. So I'm not going to go into the chat and celebrate against that person. People have got their free will, but also we've got our free will here. And also, mind you, I'm not even the one who typically times people out here on the channel. I will tell you if I time you out. But I just don't even need to I don't really want to see that during a Titans game, right? Again, people can do it, and people do it, and they create multiple fake accounts and whatnot. But I think it's pretty common sense. If you want to passionately celebrate your team scoring a try, and it depends contextually as well on the type of game, but if you want to passionately celebrate your team scoring a try against my team, I think it's pretty obvious to see why you would get timed out on this stream specifically. But again, you're completely entitled to celebrate your team, but it's like, of course, you're going to have that risk of... It depends on how it comes across too. Like, if you're just saying, like, for example, Titans when they played Warriors, great example. So there are a lot of Warriors fans who were celebrating their team and they weren't getting timed out. They're completely fine. And this happens in all the games. But there are some people who are intentionally trying to get a reaction. You know, for example, Edson in that Broncos-Titans game, I could see exactly what he was doing. But he understands that, and most people understand that. So, yeah, I just think it's about reading the room specifically, and you are on a opposition fan stream for that very much, that game. So, yeah, I don't think that's a ridiculous notion. David says, do you think Portugal's penalty was correct? I feel like the most corners have this level of grabbing. It's part of the game nowadays, man. It is. It's part of the game. Part of the game. So do you understand it, Hunter? Mitchell says Luke Garner is the biggest out for... what was it? Luke Garner is the biggest... I've already read that stupid comment. Mark says, are the Panthers at full strength today? Absolutely not. Missed the team news. Absolutely not. No Nathan Cleary, no Isaiah Yeo, no Liam Martin, no Luke Garner, no Mitch Kenny, no Brian... Oh, Brian Tott was there, sorry. No Casey McLean. They've got a bunch of outs, bro. A bunch of outs. Toga says, celebrate like this. Yay. No, like, it just comes down to how you do it. Like, if you're intentionally trying to get a reaction, you're going to get done over. And most people are intentionally trying to do it. Not everybody does, though. Not everybody does. Edson says, if you're going to get mad, then leave the stream. At the end of the day, you're in his stream. You have the option to leave. Exactly right, Edson. You know, exactly right. Because ultimately, we do streams for every single game. So if you want to... If, like, for example, when the Titans played the Bulldogs, I'd be happy, way more happy now to discuss it, Bulldogs positivity and in regards to Crichton and whatnot. You know, I still don't believe he's a 6, but I think that he had a good game against the Titans, but the Titans, that can absolutely happen. So, like, it's like if you were going to ask me a question about the Bulldogs as the Titans playing the Bulldogs, of course I'm going to have my guard up, and I'm just not going to want to really talk too much about the Bulldogs because my team is playing. But in a stream like this, we do every other game, it's very easy to conversate about that very same team or another moment. I'm not emotionally invested in the game as we currently speak because I'm commentating. I'm talking to you guys in the chat. We're asking and answering many, many questions. The game starts in 8 minutes' time, by the way. But we're answering many questions. But you've also got to remember, I love my club. I love my community. And that's why you ultimately come to the streams, because you know how passionate I am. Whether you like it or not, you know, you know how passionate I am. So it just comes down to reading the room. Entertainer says, Panthers win, Edwards score. How's sleep been with the World Cup? Not great. not fantastic, man. But that's the sacrifices you've got to do. I haven't streamed every game that I wanted to, but we are moving into an international footballing schedule where right after this we've got the Asian Championships with like Vietnam and Indonesia and Thailand and all this type of stuff we're going to be streaming. And this has kind of been like a warm up into international football, and then you go ham in 4 years time kind of deal with the World Cup. You got Asia Cup in January kind of deal. FIFA has just been a bit of a passion thing, a bit of a fun thing for us to do in this month. But obviously, we'll be live for Australia versus England, and we'll do every Socceroos game for the rest of time now. For the rest of the time. Come for the stats, stay for the rants. Exactly right, Justin. Another human. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Actually, I want to pin that so people can see that. I'm going to pin that. I got a sneaky feeling that Argentina might win back-to-back World Cups. Yeah, thank you, Entertainer. You don't watch football, though, so it's very difficult to take your opinion on international football when you don't even really watch football. It's not a sneaky feeling. They are one of the favourites for a reason. But I think France win it. France have been clearly the best team here so far. Morgan Gonamoit says, all the way from Papua New Guinea, tipping the Rabbitohs, Panthers, and out of form, losing key players. Or tipping the Rabbitohs, Panthers out of form and losing key players. True, but the Rabbitohs, they've had a lot of players out all season long, and the Panthers have been able to win games when they've had these players out. So I think it's a 50-50. I'm going to lean with the Panthers, but like I said before, it could be like an internal bias of we know what the Panthers are. Am I thinking of the Panthers as what they are with their full-strength team rather than this team here today just because of their name? I do struggle with this one because you've got to, when you do predictions and whatnot, you've got to try and avoid when there's a game where a lot of players are out. The Panthers' name holds so much weight right now. So it's, and like I said with Storm before, as an example, when they had that 7-game losing streak, the Storm have a significant weighty name. So you always want to tip the Storm, even with players out, because he's just like, they're not going to lose 2 in a row. They did. They're not going to lose 3 in a row. They did. They're not going to lose 4 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row. They did. So the same thing goes with the Panthers here. They're not going to lose 3 in a row, surely. But we also said last week, they're not going to lose 2 in a row to the Cowboys. We said they're not going to lose to the Titans. So these things do happen. So it's more trying to avoid the name of the Panthers and looking internally at the players. And if you do that, you probably are leaning towards the Rabbitohs, I'll be honest with you. If you do that, you probably would be tipping the Rabbitohs here, I would say. Nikhil says, will you stream AFCON or Euros going forward? Yes. Yeah. Brother, you think I'm going to do the Asian Championship with Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Taiwan, these kind of places, and not do AFCON and the Euros? Yes, man. Yeah, and we've got Asia Cup as well at the end of the year. We've got the Nations League as well, which is the Europeans, essentially. But the Nations League, that will be happening as well. Hunter says, thank you for explaining. You're all good, man. Commentary is better here than our friends on the telly, let's face it. I appreciate just some of the humour. It depends. Some people are going to vibe it. Some people aren't going to vibe it. That's life, bro. That's just how it is. But 4 minutes to go until the game does kick off here, guys. Obviously, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. We are on our way to 50K. On our way to the old 30K. Gotta love a Freddie Lussick double tonight. Dogs legend. Yeah, you need help, Lagan. That's what you need. Yep, absolutely. You definitely need help for sure. Sana says Australia will beat Argentina. Mate, we're not going to beat Argentina. We're going to slap them. We're going to slap them. My goodness me. Actually, how many people here are going to be up early? I just saw Emily saying Entertainer says hi. Entertainer is literally in the chat. He's literally here. But who's actually getting up in the morning to watch it? Who's going to be here to watch Australia take on Egypt in the morning? Laniette says, I hope the Panthers win. We'll see. It's a tough one with all their players out, but they usually you wouldn't expect them to lose 3 games in a row. Sana said, I just realised I tipped all the away teams this week. So you've tipped the Rabbitohs here as a Roosters fan. Wash your mouth out with soap. You tipped the Tigers. I think that Dragons-Tigers game could be a surprise, bro. I'm sorry, Tigers fans. I'm not a hater. I'm not. You probably do win, but I'm just saying there's a sneaky chance that Dragons do something there. I've gone the Sharks for the Broncos. I've gone Manly of the Eels. With the players out with Origin for the Dolphins, I would not be upset tipping the Knights. I would not be upset tipping the old Knights. I'll be at Tumbalong Park. Get around you. I'll be up, but it's not as early as the Oz guys. Yeah, for you, geez, that's at like 6 a.m. instead. Yeah, I'll be in Oz stream. Wake up at 3:30 a.m. Go training at 7:30 a.m. Going to be rough if we don't win. Exactly right. But yeah, it's 1 a.m. for me, so it'll finish at 3. Ted says, how amazing would it be to have the chance to play against Messi, even if it means you lose, going up against one of the greats of all time? Good luck to them. Yeah, 100%. Go Cape Verde, though. We played them. They knocked us out in the last one. So Messi, we played Lionel Messi in turn 22. They were the team that knocked us out in the round of 16. Lagan says, if we somehow beat Egypt, then Argentina, we verse the winner of Switzerland versus Colombia/Ghana in the quarterfinals, sneaky chance of making semis. Yeah, let's take it one game at a time here, man. But sure. but sure. Let's take one game at a time before we start thinking of Colombia versus Ghana. The biggest benefit that we have is that if we were to get past Egypt, potentially... No, I don't think Argentina will overlook us. No, I wouldn't go that far, Lagan. We nearly beat Argentina in 2022. I would not go that far. I would say that we gave it a good red-hot go against Argentina and nearly took them to extra time. I don't think that we nearly beat them, but we nearly took them to extra time, which is a feat in itself for a country of our stature compared to a country of their stature. Rabbitohs have run out into the field here, guys. The Rabbitohs have come out onto the field. I've seen some upsets this week too. Well, I'll tell you what, the Titans, they might win by 100 this week. They may win by 200 this week. And if the bye is lucky, they won't be down 500-0 at half time. Well, yeah, the extra time went to the last minute. It did. That's not, we nearly beat them. We nearly took them to extra time, but that's not nearly beating them. Ultimately, the only reason we didn't go to extra time is because we had a mess up at the back with Matty Ryan. Justin, the human get around to bunnies. Edson says, would you rather beat America or beat France in the final? You don't want to play America in the final. Not in America, no way. There is no way that any... America's no chance getting into the final, but there's no way you would want to play the US in a final. I'd definitely take knocking them, having to play them elsewhere, but the thing is that America's not getting there. And we're just not beating France. I don't think anybody is beating France. Looking forward to a good game tonight. Hopefully, man. Well, the game is about to kick off here. It is Adam G, who is the referee. Let's see if he can hopefully have a good game here. Hopefully. Jeez, it's not a great crowd here, that's for sure. That's for sure. I know it's not really it's not a Penrith home game, even though it is. That crowd's pathetic, man. That crowd's pathetic, man. Look at that. That is awful behaviour. 8 p.m. on a Friday night, and look at that crowd. It is so low. Anyway, game started here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Second tackle for the Rabbitohs, and they'll bring it through Kolomatangi to the 25. Let me just refresh this live score. Jeez. Yeah, no errors, please. Yeah, please. Limited errors. I can't do another error game like that Knights Tigers. I couldn't do it. I don't know if I could survive it. I really don't. I think that'd do me. So the Rabbitohs go to the left-hand side of Brandon Smith, and they'll take it out to the 35. Now, is that Ashton Ward? It just took a hit up? No, it was Hubner. I was going to say, why would Ashton Ward be taking a hit up there? Now, fit tackle for Tallis Duncan, the Rabbitohs at the 45. It's actually been a really kind of good week. Obviously, Thursday night, the women's game was on. I didn't stream it because we can't stream the women's consistently. There'd be no point to us doing one game and then the next game we do is the grand final. We'll stream the grand final, but there's just no point us doing the first game and then the grand final. That's close to a high tackle here. Jeez, Kolomatangi getting rough over there with Blaze Talangi. Second tackle for the Panthers, and Brian Toto, he'll take it out to the 35 on third tackle. Can feel the first 2 minutes knock on. Stop it, Logan. Please don't do this to us. Please. Fourth tackle out to 45 of the Panthers. Mitchell says they lose 2 games and forgot how to act. They lose 2 games and forgot how to act. Are you talking about the fans? That nice Tigers game had me dozing in and out, had me doing the head nod. Dude, it was just awful. I would genuinely make the argument that was the worst game of the season. And, we did see the Titans versus Dragons, which was awful. There was another game that was really bad. Eels versus Bulldogs was just horrific. Bulldogs versus Manly was just really bad. But I would say that Knights-Tigers game might be the worst game of the season so far. Would anybody say a different game? Jai Gray to the right-hand side, and he'll get taken down here at the 40 on fourth tackle. They're trying to claim a high tackle there. You wish. There was nowhere near a high tackle. And David Fafita will be taking up the 45 and fifth tackle. That game was the equivalent to AI slop. Dude, I hate that AI slop you see on Instagram now. I don't know how it gets some of your likes. Showing... And also, it's like showing a tsunami coming towards a big ship, like a container ship. And then you can just clearly see how bad it is, like how AI it is. And the problem is that soon we won't be able to tell. And you won't know what the difference is. And it's going to be quite scary, especially for the older generation who don't really understand it as much. Good offload here from Malamotti, and Dylan Edwards is away. Edwards is away here at 35 to 30. He steps around Jai Gray, he's on him over. Dylan Edwards is going to score. I don't know what that was from Jai Gray, but that was awful defense. And that is a good old try there from Dylan Edwards and the Panthers. And it's 4-0 here with a kick to come. It is 4-0 here with a kick to come. Knights vs Tigers was torture. It was worse than torture. I felt like I was being waterboarded in World War II. I felt like watching that game, I was being waterboarded. But Paul Alamotti will get that offload, and that's a brilliant offload. But then Dylan Edwards has a lot to do. Jai Gray got done over bad there. Defensively, Jai Gray, that was awful. Eels vs Raiders 15-12 was really bad, but probably not the worst. Eels Raiders was awful. At least the Raiders scored a couple of late tries there to make it interesting, but it was still awful. That's such a great offload from Alamotti. That is a really good offload from Alamotti. Yeah, Eels Raiders would be top 10. Top 5, again, I'd have Knights Tigers first. And then 2 through 5, you could switch up any of Titans, Dragons, Bulldogs, Bulldogs, Eels, Bulldogs, Manly, and maybe you could even put Eels Raiders as that between 2 and 5. Jai Gray needed a map. He was all over the shop. 4 minutes in, Panthers 4-0. Sanders in that game was the worst individual performance all season. When Sanders had a good game this season? When has he had a good game? Annie says Titans vs Dragons was a shit show. But see, Annie, the problem here is that the Titans won. Yes, Annie. Yeah. The Titans won, so it's one of the greatest games of all time. Let's not be silly. Let's be as serious as all seriousness can happen here, Annie. And let's be honest with ourselves and say, well, the Titans won. So that then just takes the game from here to beyond oblivion. What do you mean, Lagan? What he means is that Sanders is not great. So 6-0 here, they get the conversion. It is 6-0 to the Penrith Panthers. 5 minutes in. And the Rabbitohs will kick this one down here to the 3, where they go out to the right-hand side, and Liam Henry brings out of the 15. Yeah, we'll get back to it in a few weeks. No, but then that will be the worst game of all time. That would be the worst game then, Annie. So it doesn't take away from what happened back in round 5 or 6 or whenever it was. They go to the right-hand side here with the Panthers. It'll be third tackle now at the 25. 5 minutes in. Me or Ethan Sanders? Ethan Sanders? What are we doing here? What are we doing? He's talking about Ethan Sanders, bro. He's got nothing to do with you. What are you talking about? Edwards. Oh, no. The Panthers are going to kill him. The Panthers are going to kill him. Liam Henry right on through. That was a great offload there. Great pass through from Ethan Sanders. Big fit tackle. They go to the right-hand side. The Panthers. Lussick offloads it. Lindsay Smith kicks his ball across Jack Cogger. Brian To'o catches it. Will flick it back in. And is that a knock on Rabbitohs? Oh, out of Penrith. Where'd the ball come up out of Penrith here? Defensively, this Rabbitohs team is just not... it's just not on right now. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second here. All right, guys. Give me 1 second here. Yo. See if it's there. The second tackle here for the Rabbitohs, and they're going to be at the 20, and they'll bring it now to the 30. Hold on. Fourth tackle now at the 40. Kevin Phillips says, are we looking at a 13-plus game right here? Well, the Rabbitohs defensively have not come in looking like they want at the moment, and they are giving up line breaks galore, but that will be a penalty here to the South Sydney Rabbitohs for a crusher. That will be a penalty. And now they'll go on to the attack. It's bedtime medicine. I don't know what he's talking about. Serpent says, biggest game in Socceroos history tomorrow. Don't need to ask if you're streaming. I will be live for it. I wouldn't say it's the biggest game in Socceroos history. The biggest game in Socceroos history was Uruguay 2006. The biggest game in Socceroos history, factually, is 2006 against Uruguay to qualify for our first World Cup. 1,000,000%. Edson says, my last name is Sanders. How the hell are we meant to know that, man? Your name is Edson Barbosa, fan. On YouTube, and you're saying your last name is Sanders? What? Nobody here knows that, mate. Third tackle here at the 10. They go to the left-hand side of the Rabbitohs. Chance. Oh, full pass. Full pass there from the Rabbits, and that'll be a Panthers ball to 10. Bro's talking about his government name. As if we're meant to know what his name is. Wallabies tomorrow. Carter Gordon starting man. Us boys are going to give it to Ireland. Hopefully, formats. Hopefully. We need to start gearing up for the Rugby World Cup next year. At home in Australia, for people who don't know, we do have the Rugby World Cup being hosted in Australia, which will be 23 years since we last hosted it, and you don't want to know about the final, because I don't ever want to relive that final ever again. Thomas Jenkins, he'll bring his ball to 15 now on first tackle. Edson, for the record, we don't care either. This is also true, Brenton. This is also true. Anyways, Australia's first World Cup was in 1974, actually, Blaze. Well, what I meant to say was our first in a long time, because I remember, well, we didn't do too well in that one. It was our first time in a long time when we made it in 2006. But anyway, you know what I was trying to say with Uruguay and the penalty shootout and Aloisi, Shani Aloisi getting that goal to send Australia alight. What a massive result. Panthers knock on Jack Cogger. Panthers knock on Jack Cogger, and the Rabbitohs will now get the ball. Yeah, well, you know what the best over here is? Shelby says, don't even mention that. We don't do it. Tiger Woods going to learn pretty quickly. Oh, we've got a little bit of Waka Waka in the crowd right now. What a song, by the way. What a damn well song. So 10 minutes gone, 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. Socceroos have never made a World Cup quarterfinal, so I guess that would be the biggest. Okay, but that's all just assumptive based. Like, okay, so no, that wouldn't be the biggest. The World Cup final would be the biggest. What? Well, this isn't for a quarterfinal. Beating Egypt would only send us to the round of 16. They go to the left-hand side, and the Rabbitohs will drop this ball back here to the 40. What are we talking about? The biggest would be a quarterfinal. Well, no, it wouldn't be. The biggest would be a World Cup final. What's happening? Rabbitohs second tackle. They give it across here to Lachlan Hubner, and Hubner's going to be at the 35 now on third tackle. Hope you take revenge for us against Egypt tomorrow morning. We will, mate. We will do it just for you, Nikhil. Just individually for you. Jack Whiten down to the 24 on fourth tackle now. Jai Gray. Ashton Ward. Lachlan Hubner. Cody Walker. There's an obstruction there. Oh, they're not going to call it because he doesn't score. If he had scored there, it was definitely an obstruction. Fifth tackle now for the Rabbitohs at the 10. Off to Kolomatangi. Off to Ashton Ward. Jai Gray gets it across Jack Whiten. Quick passing, quick try for the Rabbitohs. That's a try for the Rabbitohs. Oh, wait, are they calling? No, he has called try. Sorry, I thought I heard him blow the whistle a couple of times there to suggest that it was a bunker. But that is a try time here for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and it is Dane Jennings. Oh, Cody Walker's... Oh, okay. So Cody Walker's fired up a little bit right now. How we been looking? We hitting up some more football streams this weekend, or we still part-time? Still part-time, mate. No, we've got Australia vs Egypt tomorrow. I've moved places because the internet of the other place wasn't that great, and also it was super uncomfortable where I was because it was like a wooden chair. Oh, bunker. Bunker. Possible foul play by Cody Walker. Welcome to the Cody Walker Show. This is what happens. Cody Walker, you are a clown, bro. That's a bin. That's a bin. He's kicked at a player, and this is a bin. That should be a bin. Like, he's kicking at a player there. That is classic Cody Walker, bro. That is classic Cody Walker. Yeah, he's in the bin. Off he goes. 100%. He's an idiot. This guy is a moron, bro. Like, it actually makes me so angry. I don't care about the Rabbitohs, and I just don't understand. He gets the same reaction out of me like buddy Corey Horsburgh, the bra man, the Raiders. Like, how can you be this stupid? You are the most experienced player in your team. Oh my gosh, Cody Walker is actually unbelievable, man. He's actually stupid, man. Elijah says, is it a try? No, it's not a try because there's an idiot on the field who just randomly kicked a player for no reason. For literally no reason, dude. There was literally no reason for Cody Walker to do what he just did. The guy's a moron. Dude, him and Corey Horsburgh, honestly, please Please study them. Study them to figure out these people. Just who did he kick? I can't remember, mate. It was one of the guys that played the ball. I can't remember. I'm too busy focused on the moron that is Cody Walker. Foot tackled at the 25. Gee whiz. 51-metre gain here for the Panthers. And they'll kick this ball to the 10. That's going to be a drop ball here from the Rabbitohs. And the Thomas Jenkins will score. Well done, Cody Walker. Well done. You are something incredible. So they're going to check this. But let me just get this straight, Cody Walker. Let me just clarify what we've seen here. They might say this is a knock-on against the Panthers or something in the air. But let me just get this straight. Not only do you randomly kick a player for whatever reason, for God knows what reason, but you do it on the play you score a try. That's a knock on Rabbitohs. Knock on both ways would be knock on Rabbitohs. We know try, but in Panthers ball, you score a try. That's the time you decide to kick a player for whatever reason after playing the ball. And then now you're down 6-0. And then you potentially might be down 12-0 in the moment now because of it. Cody Walker, what a man. It's definitely not on both ways here. This will be no try, but Panthers ball at 10. But anyway, yes, Seb, we'll be live for Australia versus Egypt. First knock on against us. Josie says, wait, what? I thought Bunny scored. What did I miss? What you missed is classic Cody Walker. That's what you've missed. That's what you've missed, Josie. Classic Cody Walker. 12 minutes in, there'll be no try, but the Panthers will have the ball 10 metres away. Cody is temp Eric Cantona. Oh, no. That is actually probably fair, too, to compare him to Eric Cantona. Great player, but geez, he had a temperament. Congrats, Cody. You just cost your team 70 points. I don't know where the 70 points comes from, but my gosh. Who's in with the Panthers? Only 11 minutes in and he's lost it. He's lost it because he kicked a player. Right-hand side, Paul Alamotti. 5 metres away. On first tackle. Don't forget, there is a man in the bin here for the Rabbitohs. Edwards out the back to Cogger. And Lindsay Smith is going to be 10 metres away. Walker just cost his team a try. Not only that, but he also got himself binned. Third tackle now at the 5. And there was no reason for it. Freddie Lussick to... Oh, no. That's too easy there for Liam Henry. It's a try time. It's a try time for the Panthers. Cody Walker, you are something, brother. You are something, my man. Oh, Rabbitohs. 10-0 down now to keep to come. Get around your Tiger Hood with a $2 donation. Says, mods are soft, you clowns. Why? Why have you said the mods are soft there? Appreciate you for the dono, though. But it's try time here for Liam Henry. Lindsay Smith to Liam Henry, and it is a TRY time. Yeah, and took away from the moment from his young teammate filling in. Yep, that is Cody Walker for you. David says, Walker and Mitchell can both do grubby things when they lose their cool. We speak about it every week with Cody, dude. We speak about it every week, mate. That's why we say typical Cody Walker. Very, very typical Cody Walker. Pants 13 plus lows says, yeah, probably, man. Probably when you've got these kind of players, when you've got these players roaming around, probably. Tiger Hood has a hate relationship with mods. Yeah, but the thing is, they could just time him out like easily. Ash Kleint's great leadership from your captain, Cody Walker there. Amazing leadership. Amazing, really. Amazing. So, Alan Motti should make this 12-0 any moment now. This may be a blowout from you. The Panthers do look up for it, Rabbitohs. Well, they had a chance. They had a chance. But a little gremlin got himself sent off. Well, sent to the bin, sorry. So 14 minutes gone. There's still like 6 minutes left of this bin. Sweet Caroline. Liam Henry doesn't typically score either. He usually makes an absolute mountain of tackles, but doesn't typically score, so he'd be happy with that. Actually, I don't know. Has he scored yet? Is that his first try of the season? He might be off the old nudie, even though you're not allowed to do nudie runs anymore. So sad he can't do the nudie run anymore. Lucky Klein ain't the ref. Could have been a send-off. Look, honestly, it might be better for the Rabbitohs if he had been sent off. Second tackle now, and they go to the right-hand side, and Lindsay Smith brings it to the 30 on third tackle. Because who'll win, Tigers or Dragons? Look, probably Tigers, but I could absolutely see an upset there. I really could. And he says, Code just wanted a quick durry break in the toilets. Over 40 points possible. I definitely think it'll be over 40. Moses Leota now with a big run, fit tackle at the 45 on the Rabbitohs side of the field. Go to bed, Dougwood. Look, this is what happens, Dougwood. You did it yourself, my man. You did it to yourself. Panthers will catch it, and they will offload it, but it will be a knock on. Knock on. So Rabbitohs ball here at the 15. They are getting monstered in the air as we speak. 5.5 minutes still left in the bin here for Mr. Walker. Unfortunately, Tiger Hood's... Okay. Second tackle now at the 25. It's funny, though, because even when people get timed out, and even if you get hidden, messages still... It's a thing that YouTube hasn't patched yet, that you can donate and it can still come through as a comment. It's actually mad. Someone could be the most vile and horrific person on the planet, and they can use the donate feature to still say whatever they want regardless. It's actually insane. You have this with, these big-time streamers, and they do hide someone, and they just don't go away. But it's at the end of the day, they don't really care. But it's actually amazing that you can still do that. I think it's going over 50, as Sim says. You'd have to expect the Rabbitohs to get some points. I just don't know how many points they do get. But then again, they would have had 6 if it wasn't for Cody Walker. Look, I think, I think it definitely could. You'd have to expect the Rabbitohs to get some points, though. But they've shown that they can get some points. Because it wasn't foul play in terms of the actual try. It was just foul play because you've got a Muppet on the field. Forward tackle here at the 50. So make your own mind up. Lindsay Smith, he's going to lose that ball. I think this might even be a strip. It might be a 6 again here. It is a 6 again. The Panthers are going to get this ball to the 35. They get the offload away, Dylan Edwards. Edwards now to the 30. And they'll get taken down here 30 metres away. First tackle. Crazy that people like iShowSpeed get thousands of donated every stream, especially this World Cup. Yeah, it is amazing to me. And the thing is that he actively tells people not to donate. But a lot of the people who do donate there don't have the money to donate, but it's like a little endorphins kick. It gets them going, thinking they're really... Oh, they kick this ball through for Jack Cogger! It's going to drop out from the Rabbitohs. The Panthers coming on up. I feel for it because iShowSpeed, he's getting a lot of money from sponsorships, from YouTube itself without the donations. The donations are just a bonus for him. So when people are donating, they're donating a large chunk of what they have. But the thing is that it's their choice. If they want to do it, they want to do it. But just people don't realize that how much you shouldn't be doing that. Because it's for smaller content creators, sure, 100%. That's going to be a knock on here from the Panthers, and Rabbitohs will get this ball here to 15. For smaller content creators, for people below a couple of 100,000, below 500,000, donations mean a whole hell of a lot. But for that kind of size, it's just it's just losing out for them. I saw that FIFA actually gave Speed a deal. Yeah, because he made that song. It's one of the official songs now. So Jamie Humphries is getting ready to come on here for the Rabbitohs. Just don't bring Cody Walker back on. Just leave him off. They go out to the right. After Jai Gray. Jai Gray taken down to the 38 now on third tackle. And Jack White, and he'll be at the 50 on fourth tackle. His song is also an official song now as well. But that's what I said. It's part of the official FIFA World Cup songs. But I did see that he wasn't able to go to the Portugal game because he had on his private jet, he had a cracked windshield, so he wasn't able to get to the Portugal game. So we'd seen Brian Tuttle playing with the Panthers during Origin period. It just isn't, though, is it? Like, it's just one game. Second tackle here at the 15. And now be Liam Henry, who will bring this ball out here to the 23 on third tackle. 20 minutes gone here in the first half. 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. Jack Cogger, quick passing. Good rush up defense there from Edward Cossie, but they get the offload away to Brian Tottle. Brian Tottle gets through to the 30 to 35, and Brandon Smith will take him down fourth tackle. That's why I don't donate to anyone apart from you. People donate to streamers with millions as well to me. Yeah, like if I was ever at like the stage of millions, I would actively... I think you can actually turn off the donation feature. Or I don't know if you can actually... Actually, I don't think you can, because that would be taking away a financial revenue system from YouTube itself, because they do still get a portion of it. But I would actively tell people not to do it. But the thing is that these streamers do that. Like, Speed and all that do say, don't donate to me because I get enough money as it is. Like, who's that guy? The long hair, and he has, like, conversational sit-downs. Third tackle at the 35, but he has, like, he wears, like, a white shirt in, like, a game of room. He's got long, like, black hair. I can't think of his name right now. He speaks really, really slow and concise and clear. And rips into people. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, he actively told people don't do it. If Cody gets fined, they should tell him to not worry and pay for anger management classes instead. I don't know why he wouldn't be in anger management classes as it is. And that'll be Panthers now at the 15. That's actually the second time somebody realised I was 18 seconds behind for some reason. That's the second time in a couple of days. I wonder why. Penguin, that's one. Oh, yeah, Penguins. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. Like, he said to people, like, I'm earning millions. Please stop donating because I know you need it more than I do. Sundo, come on, you're better than that. Yeah, you are better than that, Sundo. Gee whiz. Gee whiz, Roosters fans, you know. Edwards, the full moon come out. Oh, we got the full moon out. Yeah, Charlie. Moist critical. Yeah, moist critical. Yes, anyway, this one. That's what I'm talking about. And the Rabbitohs, Dane Jennings gets away from a couple. Wow, Dane Jennings, that's incredible. He's pushed away from a couple. He'll be taken out to 45. That's a huge run there. Would have already had a try in this game too if it wasn't for a Muppet. They go to the left-hand side, Jack Whiten. He'll get this ball to the 50 on second tackle. Maybe this game isn't going over. It's really slowed up. Oh, we've got Muppet Man back on the field. Cody Walker has returned to the field. 6 again. Cody can't get rid of the grub part of his game. Of course he can't. He's 36 years old, man. You're not changing a player at 36 years old. They are who they are. You're not changing a player once they've gone past 30, 31. And you're not even changing a player... You can still probably change a player 25, 28, but that's when they're really priming. But 30 plus, there is absolutely no chance you were adjusting a player. So third tackle now for the Rabbitohs at the 20. They go to Cody Walker at the 15. Cody Walker, he'll be taking down 10 metres out, fourth tackle. If they can score here, we're on. If they can score here, we are on. Lachlan Hubner, one of the weakest runs you will see. Fifth tackle out the 5. And Jamie Humphries, Cody Walker, Ashton Ward, Jack Whiten. There's a drop. Wow, that's gone straight to the hands there. Is that Cogger? No, I can't even see. Who's the number 18 there for the Panthers? Who's the number 18 for the Panthers? Number 18 is... Oh, Jack Cole. Oh, no. Who's that man? The one of our... Hold on. One of our subscribers always brings up in regards to... I say Jack Cole when it's Jack Cogger, or I say Jack Cogger when it's Jack Cole. I just realised now you've got both Jack Cogger and Jack Cole on the field at the same time. So fifth tackle and Jack Cogger will kick this ball down here to the 25 with Jai Gray. And they're away here. Jai Gray's away. Jai Gray at the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30. Dylan Edwards and Jai Gray. He can't. He wanted to try and do the same thing that Edwards did to him, but he couldn't do it. First tackle of the Rabbitohs. They go to the left-hand side. After the break, the Panthers scrambled back pretty well, though. They'll give it across now to... Oh, chance. No, Latrell Seagull taking down to the 20 on second tackle. And now they'll go to Tallis Duncan. And Duncan gets his ball to the 10. This was good scrambled defense for the Panthers to get back quickly. Third tackle. There's been a lot of line breaks in this game. Out the back, Ashton Ward, short ball. Dave Fafia locked down 2 minutes away from the line. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. Talangi... Here's a chance if the Rabbitohs. That's going to go all the way back to the 20. They've broken it down. And 6 again. Inside 10 on fit tackle. It was a broken down play, but the Rabbitohs will get a 6 again. 20 metres out. Rabbitohs. Liam LeBlanc. He's going to be 12, 10 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Saw a clip today of Speed meeting an agent stream with way more followers than him at the football, so the streaming thing is insane for the young generation also. Really? With way more followers than Speed? Wow, that's impressive. Latrell Seagwalt will be at the 5 on 4 tackle. 6 again. 6 again against the Panthers. The Rabbitohs here. Surely you score. There's a mountain of possession right now. An Asian streamer, so I'm assuming it's going to be like a Japan or a Korean, maybe? Japanese or a Korean? Third tackle. They go out to the right-hand side. Ashton Ward, Jai Gray, gives it to Jack Whiten. Taken down to the 5. This is good defense from Penrith. This is great structural defense. Here's a chance. Dave Fafita. Fit tackle at the 4. Can't break through them at the moment. Just cannot break through them. Rabbitohs out to Kolomatangi. Kolomatangi then out the back. There's numbers galore. Numbers galore. Try time, Edward Cozy. Try time for the Rabbitohs. Try time for the Rabbitohs. And it is 12-4 here with a kick to come. Nikhil says, yeah, he had $75 million and told him he'll get there soon, and he was also very young. He said he'll get there soon? Damn, that is a shot, man. Oh, that means his ego is through the roof, son. That shows his ego is through the roof to say, oh, you'll get there soon. Oh, dude, was it meant that way? Or was it more so just like, oh, like you will get there soon? Or was it oh, you'll get there soon? Yeah, that's a disrespectful way to put it. Try tumping bong mother. It's good offload there. Edward Gosi, try time. Birdie says, who scored for South? Edward Gosi. Edward Gosi. Hubner is the king of the week runs at this point. Yeah, he does make some weak runs. He also makes some tough runs, but he does make some weak runs. There's been a lot of line breaks in this game. So 12-4 to kick to come. A long way to go here still. 14 minutes left of this first half. Is there money donated when they do the arrow celebration? Oh, do you have to... Is it an arrow every single time? Or is that maybe just what Edward Kelsey's doing? Actually, did the Panthers celebrate for Jai July? And Rabbitohs will miss the kick. Latrell Seagwalt misses it and will say 12-4. 12 points to 4. If you see the clip, you could probably see it both ways. Yes. That could either be said very derogatory or... Is he Japanese or Korean? Kirani Glenn? I'm not sure what the go is. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably just an individual thing for because you're sure they wouldn't say that every single time you go do that, but maybe. So 12-4. Oh, everyone done an arrow. Oh, okay. Oh, so it must be, yeah, okay. So an arrow for every single try scored. Okay. 5 metres out, even their own line. Now, Keon Kolomatangi brings it out of the 15 on first tackle. Is Corsi just the largest unit to play wing? Yeah, he doesn't have a typical body frame of a winger. Then again, like if you look at Jared Hayne back in the day, the later he got in his career, the bigger he got, and he was on a wing. He was pretty big by the end of it. Dave Fafita taking down here at 33 on third tackle. Who's other big ones? Manu Vatabai was pretty big, wasn't he? Who's some other really, really big wingers over the years? Because they're typically never usually like massive, massive figures. Semi Radradra was very lean, but he was a big guy. Radradra. Silias Vinivalu wasn't really that massive. He's very lean though, obviously. Wingers are typically extremely lean. Brian Tuttle changed the wing, the way that wingers are as well, in terms of being very stocky, but also quite smaller. With Rafalau. Yeah, he's not the same. Yeah, like he was a big dude. He is a big dude. However, still not like the size what we've seen. Like Edward Cosey's a massive wampa. Look at him, massive wampa. But yeah, Israel Folau's good one to be fair. Wendell Saylor, yeah. Ravalawa was a beast. Yeah, sure, but not. Can't we talk about it here? Ravalawa is a beast. I guess the Fijians typically are always going to be like that. Radradra, Ravalawa, Funavalu, Jared Hayne. There's another one. Sivo was huge. Yeah, Sivo was huge. Is he still playing or did he end up retiring? I know he went over to the Super League. Did he retire last year or something? Or is he still cracking on? I know he got really injured. He got like injured long term and I don't know if he came back from it. I've seen Nelson hang out in the wing. I'm counting it. He's the biggest. Well, I have seen Tino score a try in the wing before. Fun fact. Was it Seabus? Tino scored a try in the wing. So I'm claiming him. Up the Gold Coast Titans says, hurry up. Oh, what? Oh, no. See, this is the weirdest thing, bro, with YouTube. You didn't say hurry up. He said Micah Sivo, but YouTube changes it. I don't know what this thing does. I don't know what it means, but if you highlight like you put your mouse over the comment, it changes it back to what you actually said. Jonah Lomu for Rugby on the win. Jonah Lomu, what a player. Jonah Lomu, what a bopper. Imagine him today. All right, so it's going to be second tackle of the Panthers, the 15. Dylan Edwards coming out. Brings his ball to the 25 and third tackle. 10 minutes gone to the first half. 30 minutes gone to the first half. 10 minutes to go of the first half. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And don't forget to be here live in the morning early on. Australia versus Egypt in a knockout round of 32 match. If we win, we will play the winner of Argentina versus Cape Verde in the game right after. Xavier Coates is 194 centimetres and around 103 kilograms. Massive for a winger. Yeah, he's a big boy. And Edward Gorsey brings it out to the 30. Xavier Coates is massive. Chai Gray. And now he'll be at the 40 on second tackle. That streamer he met is called Zhong. Chinese Russian. Chinese Russian's a mad mix. Chinese Russian, okay, and has 74 million subs on YouTube according to my research. Yeah, Chinese Russian is OP, mate. Not only do you get the Chinese audience, but then again, China can't watch YouTube. They have YouTube geo-logged. Oh, they're going to offload that ball, and it's going to be picked up by Brian Toto. As they were trying to break away, Brian Toto gets away from one, and he's going to bring it out to the 40 now or the 45 on first tackle. Throwing straight to Brian Toto. They'll beat the 50 now through Paul Anamotti, second tackle. Oh, you can't have that. Just as you were looking to really get back into the game, there's a massive hole that opened up there, and they get the offload away to Jack Cole. They get it across to Lussick, Dylan Edwards, and Edwards will be at the 40 now on third tackle. Chinese Russian is OP for the amount of followers that you could receive. Could you imagine if you were like Chinese Russian Indian? Oh, gosh. Gee whiz. So what does he do? He just streams his life, does he? Just walks around doing stuff, does he? There'll be fifth tackle now at the 20. How many followers is Speed on nowadays? Dylan Edwards to Jack Cogger. Cogger's going to put a high ball up. Good one here for Jenkins. Milky. Oh, Blaise Lungi. Oh, I don't know. This is close. His left leg might have just gone over the sideline. Jack White might have just saved the game of the Rabbitohs here. Yeah, they're going to check this. I think that Blaise Lungi does catch this ball, but I think his leg will go over the sideline. I'm pretty certain his foot goes over the sideline, but Jenkins, Milky, goes up for it. A little bit of a specky here. It is actually a specky. Genuine contest, catches the ball, comes down. If he had have gotten that ball offloaded quicker, it would have been an easy try for Talangi, but he just couldn't because it was mid-air. Tries to gather it, goes really low here. If Talangi doesn't knock this ball on, it's amazing. Oh, this might just be a knock on here. Oh, maybe. I think he might actually catch that. What do you mean he's a fibber? You could... Yeah, I think he's taking clean possession here. No high contact. It just comes down to if he keeps his left foot in, but I'm pretty certain his left foot goes out. Oh, maybe no. Oh, no. His foot will go out. Yeah, it's his right foot too. how that bloke has 74 million subscribers with the videos he posted beyond me. What does he do? Is it just like that he just streams himself walking around, does he? He's whole speed, he does like challenges and stuff. I don't watch the guy, but yeah, it was surprising to me as well, given the speed profile now. Man, the more you travel, as you guys know, I'll be in Kazakhstan in less than 2 weeks. The more you travel, there'll be no try here. Rabbitohs ball will be at the 10, and Edward Coates brings it to the 15 on first tackle. The more you travel, the more you realise it's not just the West. Like people, they look at Elon Musk as being the richest man on the planet. I promise you that he is probably not in the top 10 richest people on the planet, because there is a lot that China don't have to tell you how much they have. And the same thing goes with a lot of the oil barons and whatnot. I promise you, Elon Musk is not the richest man on the planet. Promise you. There are a lot of countries that don't need to tell you how much they are worth and how much they earn and all that kind of stuff. For example, Singapore, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, was developed by Chinese families. So they'll go to the right-hand side after Dylan Edwards, and Edwards is going to bring this ball here to the 20. I actually originally learnt that fact from watching a great movie, Crazy Rich Asians, because there is Western wealth and then there is Chinese wealth. Indeed, Elon ate the richest in the UAE. In the UAE? What's the UAE got to do with it? But I'm sure there's people in the UAE way richer than him too. Edwards is going to bring this ball to the 45 on 4 tackle. Rothschild family. Trillion. Yeah, bro. There's no sum you could put next to that family. But we're not going to go down that path because I know you bringing that up is a wormhole into a different dimension conversationally. First tackle now for the Rabbitohs, and they'll be at the 10. Nintendo says Elon only the richest known wealth. Correct. The oil barons in the Middle East definitely got way more. Oil barons in the Middle East, the Chinese, just trillionaires. Again, Singapore was quite literally developed by these, because I researched into it based off of what I found out in that movie. And it's sickening to think about how much money people have. Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians is a great movie. 1 second, Rabbitohs are away. Jennings knocks it on. Oh, get up, Rabbitohs. You're sleeping the wheel. Jai Gray, Thomas Jenkins. He'll be taking over the sideline. Will they say advantage played here? Advantage over? Yep, fair call. I don't mind it. Russians also very rich, yeah. Fun fact for you, and Crazy Rich Asians is a great movie. I think the second one comes out next year. Fun fact for you in regards to Singapore, like people have their holiday homes because they've got like a million or millions, and they're pretty well off in terms of they have a holiday home that they'll go and visit for the summer. Singapore was actually developed pretty centrally around being like a holiday city. Rabbitohs will be for the people, as in for the individuals. So first tackle now for the Rabbitohs, and they'll be at the 8. Ash Klein's bookie is richer than Elon Musk at this rate. Oh, okay. Second tackle here at the 15. Took me a while to figure out what you were saying. And there'll be third tackle here at the 25. But it says K-pop demon hunters are pregnant. Ronaldo turned evil. Okay. I couldn't force myself to scroll more. He posed for people below the age of 4. Well, that is the way to make big money on YouTube. It is. I just don't care about that. I want to do what I love. Fourth tackle now for the Rabbitohs. They'll be at the 35. And they'll go to Kalamatangi, who brings it out of the 45. Now to the 50 on fifth tackle. What I want to do is I want to watch sport. I want travel. And that's it. I don't need to be forcing children content for money. I just want to do what I love to do. How can you take yourself seriously if that's not your passion? Second tackle now at the 25. And Jenkins will bring this. Wow, look at his footwork. That was really nice. Salva says, come on, Jenkins. Milky Jenkins. He got close. Hasn't scored yet, though. 4 tackles at the 45. You know, Russians are also very rich. Obviously, the Middle Eastern oil barons. I'm telling you, Sheikh Mansour. I'm telling you, the owners of Manchester City are well more wealthy than... maybe not well, but like they are more wealthy than Elon. They just don't disclose it. First tackle now for the Rabbitohs at the 15. That's why. Good luck to the Premier League, man, because they have endless amount of money to send these charges for years and years and years. People are always like, please come on, get Manchester City. Even if they aren't or are guilty, this process will go on for years and years and years. You don't have to pay tax either, yeah. That's why most people go to, I can't think. It's a massive, massive place that everyone moves to. All the content creators. Fit tackle now, not Saudi. Dubai, that's it. That's why they all move to Dubai, because there's no taxes. Fit tackle for the Rabbitohs, and they're going to kick this ball down to the 10. Costa says Moana is going to be a good movie. Yeah, look, very different conversation, that one. But I love Moana because it reminds me of my roots back there in Fiji, the old Fiji. Second tackle out to 30. 3 minutes to go here the first half. Where we went on to the aqueduct in the GC and we were shown all the billionaires' waterfront mansions. Yeah, there's some amazing, amazing places. I know where you went. There's some amazing homes there. There's also a Millionaire Mile on the Gold Coast, down by Broadbeach, Miami way. Broadbeach, remember, Waters kind of deal. Fourth tackle, that's where all the best house parties were back in the teenage years. Gone on some Hot Birds plays. Her family was a millionaire right near Curraway there at Broadbeach. Unbelievable. Kick this ball across to Jack Hogger. Thomas Jenkins. Milky Jenkins! But that's good grab from Dane Jennings. First tackle at the 10. Nichols says, just do what you love. You would be sick to see you try to pursue commentary in a pro capacity at some point. We'll see, man. By doing that, it takes away from being able to interact with you guys here. Now it'll be third tackle of the Rabbitohs at the 25. And also, by doing that, you have to be stable in one place. I'm always travelling, man. They go to the left-hand side. Jai Gray, Edward Corsi bobbles it, but he'll be taken over the sideline. Yep, he's lost the ball. So not over the sideline. Oh, my gosh. That's actually play on. No, it's going to be knock on South, yeah. Dubai looks perfect from the outside, but you have to be so careful, especially women, speaking from experience. Speaking from experience? Wait, what? Careful, especially women? I think I know what you're referring to. But careful? Explain. Careful, especially women. That's actually going to be a touch from Brian Tuttle here. This is going to be a knock-on against the Panthers. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, off of the thumb. Yep. So this is going to be a successful challenge for the Rabbitohs. They'll get the ball. Yeah, game's still close. Game is still very, very close. Minute 48 to go here. I just want to travel the world one day, but that'll never happen for me. Incorrect, Highlanders. You just got to believe, man. I never thought that. Bro, do you think that I grew up as a kid on the Gold Coast thinking that one day I'll go to Kazakhstan for 3 weeks? I'll be in Kazakhstan in 12 days' time. Like, do you think that I believe that I would ever go to Kyrgyzstan? Have you even heard of Kyrgyzstan? I'll be there in like 5 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because you think, if you think you won't go there or you think you won't travel the world, then you won't ever travel the world. But if you believe that one day you'll get to a point you do, then you will. I can't say I heard of it. Exactly. So, do you think that I'd heard of it when I was like 8 years old? Even 15 years old? And they go out to the left here, the Rabbitohs, and Latrell Sieg will be taken down at the 45 on third tackle. Put a Titans flag down when you go there. Dude, I genuinely believe that I will have been the only ever Gold Coast Titans fan to have been to the country of Kyrgyzstan, let alone probably Kazakhstan, but I'd be more confident in Kyrgyzstan, Bishkek in Kyrgyzstan. Fit tackle out the 30 for Kolomatangi, a minute to go. Ash Klein, I hope one day I can visit Mount Druitt. Yeah, that's everyone's dream, mate. That's everyone's dream in life. That's going to be grabbed by Dylan Edwards knock on. Well, Rabbitohs going to get one last opportunity here. They're going to get one last opportunity here before half time. 45 seconds. Pat the scrum. Wow, they're letting this clock really run down here, Rabbitohs. Wow, they don't look like they give a shit about packing the scrum. They just let 15 seconds go off of the clock there. It's still going. 30 seconds left. It's still going. Wow. You've just wasted so much time there, South Sydney. Shot clock went off 30 seconds later. It was 47 seconds when that knock-on occurred. Rabbitohs, will they maybe not even need it? 17 seconds left now. They let 30 seconds go off the clock. The Rabbitohs, they get off to 15. Ashen Ward, Jai Gray. They're going to score! Dane Jennings. He'll get his moment this time. Watch Cody. Where's Cody Walker? What has he been doing? Where's Cody Walker? I want to make sure this try is legit. Yeah, just make sure Cody Walker hasn't kicked anybody beforehand. It's a nice play from South Sydney down this right-hand side. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And Dane Jennings will get his moment and he will score in a corner. So it's going to be 12-8 with a kick to come right before half-time. But where's Cody? Where is he? Cody Walker has not kicked anybody on this play. It's amazing. Try confirmed. It's amazing stuff. Dane Jennings got some good speed there. He's had a good game here tonight, the young kid. Got a good game. Kick the ball, not the humans, Cody. That's pretty common sense, really, though. Nintendo Freak says, I'm still not sure you haven't made that country up. So, yeah, you should be the only GC fan there ever. I could even be the only NRL fan there ever, man. I wonder how many Australians do you believe have ever visited Kyrgyzstan? There wouldn't be many. Official historical figures are scarce, but demographic and tourism data, no way. No, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I would be the only Titans fan to have ever existed here. Official historical figures are scarce, but demographic and tourism data suggest that fewer than 15,000 to 20,000 Australians have likely ever visited Kyrgyzstan. Fewer than 20,000, 15,000 people in all of history is what it believes Australians have visited Kyrgyzstan. There's no way that in that 15,000, 20,000, which is nothing, mind you, is there going to be a Gold Coast Titans fan? No chance, bro. And from the sideline, Latrell Seagwell's got it. It's 12-10. 12-10, what a kick. Well, we got a game here, folks. We have got a game here, ladies and gentlemen. It is 12-10 to the Penrith Panthers. At halftime, they conceded right on halftime. And the conversion goes absolutely smack bang over the black dot. Well, guys, let's get into the team stats and see how this one is playing out here. Obviously, do me a favor, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here, and let's rock and roll. And don't forget, Australia versus Egypt, 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be live as we get into the round of 32 knockouts for the Aussies. Now, the Panthers 12, Rabbitohs 10. This is at CommBank Stadium in Sydney. The tries, Dylan Edwards and Liam Henry for the Panthers. Alamotti twice on the conversions, 2 from 2. Whilst the Rabbitohs, Edward Corsi and Dane Jennings, with Latrell Seagwell being 1 from 2, and obviously we've had the Muppet Man go to the sin bin and Cody Walker in the 10th minute. Now, in terms of possession, 55% possession to the Rabbitohs, 45% possession here to the Panthers. Definitely pretty keenly in advance of the Rabbitohs there. They are pretty much dominating this game in terms of 55% is a very healthy amount. That's a whole 10% more than what you're seeing from Penrith. And now, time of possession is 13 minutes and 29 seconds for Penrith, 16 minutes and 16 minutes 34 from the Rabbitohs. That would be 29 minutes. That's over 30 minutes of play. 25 minutes is the threshold. So I want to say something here. If you believe the game is in a bad state right now, it's actually not, because 25 minutes is a threshold for the amount of time you want to be seeing in a first half, in a half of footy, right? You want to see at least 25 minutes, which is above the 50% marker. It's more closer to about the 60%, right? So you want to be seeing at the very least about 25 minutes on a threshold. We are very consistently getting above 30 minutes. Some games are hitting 32 minutes. Most games are hitting 27, 28. This is hitting above 30. It's very healthy. So the state of the game right now is that referees aren't actually getting involved as much as they have in the past. And we are seeing quite a free-flowing game overall. Now, in regards to completion rate, 80% is what you're looking at. 80% here for the Rabbitohs. It's good. You're happy with it. 21 from 26. You'd probably like a little bit better. But at the end of the day, 80% is you're doing the job at a good level. 78% here for the Panthers. You'd be slightly disappointed, but not too overly disappointed because it's only 2% short of that 80%. 18 from 23. Overall, you're happy with it. You've just had 3 less sets than the Rabbitohs and 3 less completed sets. Runs-wise, though, 99 runs for the Panthers for 950 run meters. Now, this is still very good. So 99 for 950 is only 40 meters behind the 10 meters on average per run that you're looking for Penrith. Only 40 meters. So you're happy with that? Rabbitohs, 111 runs for 1,022 run meters. Now, a couple of things here. One, if you ever hit 1,000 meters and a half, you're very, very happy with it. So the Rabbitohs should be very, very happy with this. However, 1,110 meters is where the Rabbitohs would need to beat the 10 meters on average per run that they're looking for. They're about 88 meters away from that right now. So the Panthers are at 40. No, it's 99 for 949, so it's 41. So the Panthers are at 41 compared to the Rabbitohs at 88. So that means that the Panthers are actually doing more with the ball when they've got it. And then that will translate into the average set distance here, where the 25 meters and below is pathetic to the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. And 45 to 50... 45 to 50 is fantastic. 50 plus is basically perfect. 41.28 here for the Panthers is great on the lower to mid-range of great. Rabbitohs are at 39.32, which is the upper end of hitting the job, doing the job, just kind of moving and grooving. So the Panthers are 2 meters in front of where the Rabbitohs are, and that does transcend into the runs to the run meters, which shows that they are getting a little bit more done with the ball. If they had those extra 12 more runs to get equal with the Rabbitohs, they would be actually quite well over 1,022. They would more so be at probably about the 1,060 to 1,080 mark. 1,060 to 1,080 mark or so. So, yeah, look, very good there from the Panthers, but still, they're just getting done on the possession right now. Line breaks, a lot of line breaks here. 4 for the Rabbitohs, 3 for the Panthers. That is a very healthy chunk for both those teams. Tackle breaks, a lot of missed tackles here. 23 for the Rabbitohs, 19 for the Panthers. Average play the ball speed, as per usual, this Penrith team is red hot, mate. So 3.19 seconds and below is extremely fast. 3.2 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. And 3.8 and above is extremely slow. 2.9 seconds for the Panthers is red hot, mate. That is really, really fast stuff. That is spectacularly fast. 3.19 and below is extremely fast. They are sub 3 again. They were sub 3 against the Titans a couple of weeks ago. They are typically sub 3 a lot of the time. That's how fast their playable speed is. And then you go to the Rabbitohs at 3.48 seconds, which is in the average category between 3.4 and 3.59. So there is a major gap here. This is over half a second. This is nearly 0.6 of a second in advantage to the Panthers. That is very, very fast. Nathan says, "Hi, bro. What is the halftime score, please, from Papua New Guinea?" So I appreciate you watching from Papua New Guinea. Nathan, it's literally right below me, bro. The halftime score is literally right here, my man. Right here. You see this? That is the halftime score there, brother. 12-10 for the Panthers. Now we go to the passing offloads. 7 for the Panthers, 2 there for the Rabbitohs. That is a lot of offloads there it's a healthy number for the Rabbitohs. No, healthy number for the Panthers, low number there for the Rabbitohs. And then we go to the forced dropouts, 1-0 Panthers way. Kick defusal, 80% for the Penrith, 70% for the Rabbitohs. Defensive effective tackle percentage shows you slightly where this game is at. So 85% and below is awful. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker. And 90% and above is essentially perfect. 88.97% here for the Panthers is very good. It's hitting the job. It's very solid. They're still 1% away from perfect, but still very good. 234 tackles made is ridiculous. 160 to 180 is the typical range for tackles made in a half. 234 is 54 more tackles made than the average amount of tackles that are made in a half by a team. 234 is ridiculously high. But yet 23 missed tackles is above the typical range of 15 to 17 on average, and the ineffective tackles is 6, which is in the middle of the average of 5 to 7. So to make that make sense more, they've got an average amount of ineffective tackles with 54 tackles made more than what the average is. So that's very, very good in an effective tackles marker. And the 23 is 6 above the typical 15 and 17 average that you will see from missed tackles. But also they've made those 54 more tackles made. So whilst they've missed those 6 extra on the average, That's why they've still got a pretty good, solid, effective tackle percentage, because they're having to make a bucket load more tackles. And then in comparison, you've got the Rabbitohs here with an 86.47%, which is in the underwhelming category. Now, 179 tackles made is in the typical 160 to 180 range. So they've currently got 55 less tackles made than what the Panthers have had to do. They've only got the 3 missed tackles less, so still above the average of 15-17. But they've got more ineffective tackles of 8. So 20 is 3 above the average, whilst their tackles made is in the average of 160 to 180, and the ineffective tackles is 8, which is above the average of 5 to 7, and 2 more than the Panthers, but yet they've made 55 more tackles. So the Rabbitohs defensively here have not been that fantastic. But the Panthers, with all their tackles made, have been actually very defensively strong. You go to the negative play, though, and this has been a running theme over these last couple of weeks. So 3 and below is really good, 4 to 6 is average, and 7 above is awful. This is a running theme. The Panthers are at 8. They're making a lot more errors lately. This is why they've been losing those last 2 games to the Cowboys, where they had a ridiculous amount of errors last week, and also the week beforehand against the Titans, where I don't think they had an insane... Oh, no, they did. They ended up getting like 17 errors. For some reason, this Panthers team is not holding the ball like they once did. They are starting to make a lot more mistakes, which is really intriguing. And the Rabbitohs, they're at 5. They're on the average category. So Panthers are in the awful category. The Rabbitohs are in the average category. And, you know, this Panthers team is still winning it. But if they can't get a hold of their errors, they're going to get done over. Now, penalties conceded is 1-1. That's low. Ruck infringements is 4-1 against the Panthers. That's high against the Panthers. And inside 10 metres is 1-0 against the Panthers. And then you've obviously got one Muppet who went to the sin bin for the Rabbitohs. So with a quick skim over everything, Rabbitohs are winning the possession. They've got a slightly better completion rate. The Panthers are doing more with the run meters and the runs comparatively to what the Rabbitohs have got, despite the fact that, yeah, they've had those extra, 12 more runs. Ultimately, they're doing slightly more there. Line breaks is very healthy, but slightly in favour of the Rabbitohs. Defensive effective tackle percentage is definitely in favour of the Panthers. Average set distance is proving my point in regards to the Panthers doing slightly more with the ball. The average play the ball speed has updated from 2.9 to 2.89 now, so even faster for the Panthers. Offloads is Panthers' way. Look, on the eye test, I would say the Rabbitohs come back and win this game. But on the stats thing, on the stats test, I would say it's the Panthers. Statistically, the Panthers should get this job done. But on the eye test, I'd say the Rabbitohs probably are looking the more likely. And I always say, if a team scores within 5 minutes of halftime and it's a remotely competitive game, typically they'll go on to win the game, which would be the Rabbitohs. That would be the Rabbitohs, but, it's all play for here still. Jeremy said, had your stream loaded up on my phone at Noodlebox on the Goldies night and had a couple of fans cop a watch. Still popular here, buddy. Get around. Still popular here. Get around it. My popularity on the Gold Coast has actually gotten far more than when I was actually there. That's because probably a lot of the time people don't realise how much I actually input into the club over the years, to be fair. Bretton says 50% of those people would be Bunnies fans. They always turn up somewhere. Dude, someone said before, those 15,000 people probably don't even like sport. I agree. If you're going to Kyrgyzstan, you're probably not like again, I'll find out, but you're probably not a rugby league fan or an AFL fan or anything like that. You're probably doing it for business. Well, you might be a sport fan, but you might be more... To be fair, it's actually funny. I will be there, and I will be going to a game between FC Kairat, who actually were in the Champions League last year, but FC Kairat, which is in Almaty, and Ordubasi. Well, I don't know where Ordubasi is from in Kazakhstan, but these two teams are first and second in the Kazakhstani Premier League. So I'm actually going to be vlogging that game. I'm going to go to the game and vlog it. So you'll get to see what it's like to go to a Kazakhstan football match in about 4 weeks' time. It's 25th of July. 25th of July it's on. So I'll be going to that game. It's very hard to get tickets, but I got ticket. I had to message the Kazakhstani team itself to get it. So yeah, that'll be interesting, but that'll come up. I'll do a split one between BKRsport and BK Travel for that. Adam G not getting that many games. I thought he was a fan fave. Yeah, but I don't think the NRL really likes him. I used to love him. I think he's been a little worse lately. So if he's been a little worse, then I'm surprised that he doesn't get Origin and Grand Finals, because the NRL loves to give it to the people who don't have a clue. Jeremy said, I've never seen a trip player so rank in my life. Take another look at that doozy. Jenkins letting my multi-bets down. Jada says, bless you, Nathan. Mate, unless you're betting on a Jenkins double, it's not worth it. I just need Jenkins to get one try. All right, guys, I'll be back in 1 second here. I'll be back in 1 second. See that thumbs up button, subscribe. It is half time. Give me one moment. Let's go. Let's go for the second half, son. Let's go for the second half. Who does everyone think will win from here? It's a close game. It's all up in the air. We're fired up, son. We're fired up. You better be fired up too. The Panthers are running out onto the field. Well, they're walking out into the field right now. They are walking out. Let's hopefully get an absolutely cracker game right now because it is close and it could go either way. It definitely could. Adam says, I put 1-250 on Danger Anything Time and Panthers win. Same game multi. What's 10% of that, Adam? What's 10% of that? Where he says Casey Badger needs to ref a State of Origin game. You're getting timed out. You're getting timed out. You're getting a 5-minute timeout, and there's nothing. Yeah, Brenton's done it, and I'm doing it too. You're getting a timeout, and when you come back in, there better be an apology for that disgraceful comment. And I mean it. If you don't come in here and apologise for suggesting that Casey Badger should be a referee for an NRL game, you're getting another timeout. I tell you that for free. I tell you that for free, and I'll tell you it twice on Fridays, which is today, if you didn't know. Oh, gee whiz, you make that comment. You need to get a grip of yourself real quick. Real quick. But all right, the second half has started. The Rabbitohs will boot this ball down here to the 5. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. It's going to be a rampaging Panthers now. Coming out of their own line through Luan Pratea. They give it across here to the left-hand side, and they're going to be now getting this ball to the 25 on second tackle. Brian Thompson needs to lap the full-strength Coke. So I think he has Coke Zero. I think he's a big Coke Zero guy. Yeah, pull your head in there, well, but you pull your head in. Casey Badger, you're off your head. That's the all-time worst comment here. Imagine timeout from my behalf. Imaginary timeout from my behalf. Yeah, well, you are the king of timeouts, Lagan. You do have the... I wish that there was like a YouTube stat that could show when somebody has been timed out the most, like it's got like a king and it's got a clown emoji or something like that, and it would go over your name every time. So if there's anybody who knows all about timeouts, it is you, Lagan. First tackle now for the Rabbitohs, and that's a knock on. That's not the way to start the second half. That is not the way that you would like to start the second half here. No. Lagan will be in the thousands. Lagan might actually be in the thousands. Actually, Brenton, I think you can, as a moderator, I think you can see, or Mitchell, I'm not sure which moderators are here right now, but moderators, I think you can see how many timeouts he's actually had. Jeremy says, no, I get timed out way more. He's safe. Jeremy, you aren't even in the top 100 for timeouts. Not even in the top 100s, mate. Lagging's timeouts is capped at 100 plus on the stats. Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So 38 minutes to go here of this game, and the Panthers will have the ball to 30. They'll go to the left-hand side. Dylan Edwards at the back, and now it's going to be Scotty Sorensen at the 25. Might def be over 1,000 mins at this point. Easy. Oh, easy, bro. Well, 100 times, 100 plus. Oh, well over 1,000 minutes. He's definitely been timed out more than 200 times. Definitely. Oh, geez. Lizzie Smith gets rocked in the tackle at 13. And they'll go out to Kalani Going, Jack Cogger. And now they'll beat the 13. Yeah, just says 100 plus. A dual referee gig between Liam Kennedy and Liam Moore would be a great watch. All right. Well, Mitchell, you knew this was coming too, to be fair. I think Mitchell's the most ever timed out moderator for sure. Out to the right, Dylan Edwards. This should be a try. This should be a try. No, it's not. They got good cover. Good scramble. Dylan Edwards kicks this ball through on fit tackle, and Keelan Koloamatangi knocks it dead for a drop out. Mitchell is 1,000,000% the most timed out moderator. Lagging is 1,000,000% the most timed out individual. Gendy Kinman says Rabbits to win by 1 to 12 points from Lay and Papua New Guinea. Get around here, Papua New Guinea. See what I tell you guys all the time. People don't realise this. This is why Papua New Guinea games on this channel in 2028 are going to go absolutely nuts. And I hope you guys are prepared for it in the comment section. Edwards will knock this ball back. Brian Tott will get it at the 22 on first tackle. They will go nuts. I'm telling you, 50% of our audience is from Papua New Guinea. Like, we have a lot of people from Papua New Guinea who watch these streams. So most of the people who comment in the chat are obviously Aussie or English and whatnot. Aussie or English or New Zealand or the likes. But I promise you, there is a lot of Papua New Guineans who watch these streams and videos. And Rugby League World Cup for Papua New Guinea will go crazy later this year. And you watch when the Chiefs come in, man. Good luck. Good luck if they get a hard call against them that robs them from a win. Oh, no. It'll be way worse than Warriors fans. It'll be way worse. Fit tackle at 3. They give it out to Jack Cogger. Cogger puts his ball in the corner. Milky Jenkins. Milky! No, Dane Jennings has been great today. Dane Jennings has been really good. At least they've found some really good depth here for the likes of Campbell Grant. Well, when Alex Johnston goes in 2028, they've definitely got Dane Jennings here. Oh, for gosh sake, they've knocked it on again, the Rabbitohs. They've knocked it on again. No one cares, Tigerwood. Tigerwood, you've made an enemy of the moderators, mate. Why do you think they're going to do you a favour? You deliberately made an enemy of the moderators. You literally donated to the channel before just to tell them that they're clowns. So 35 minutes left. If we thought Warriors... if we think the Warriors fans are bad when they get a bad call against them or have a tough loss, I'm telling you, Papua New Guinea, they are going to flip their shit, son. They will flip their shit as a country if they ever got a hard call against them. So the Panthers will be here at the 30 on first tackle. Rabbitohs are their own worst enemies right now. 2 knock-ons to start this half, and given the Panthers' fantastic field position... Well, they're not over at 80% on completion rate now. They'll probably be down around the 74%, 73% now. They go Lindsay Smith, Jack Cogger, Dylan Edwards. Edwards steps into the inside, and he'll be taken down to the 10th third tackle. They get it across to... Is that Liam Henry? Yep, Liam Henry at the 5. No, Billy Phillips, sorry. And Freddie Lussick goes quickly for tackle. Try to catch him out, but he cannot catch out the likes of Tallis Duncan. And Jamie Humphries is a very good defensive half, even though he kind of plays a lot of Fulker lately. Jack Cogger puts his ball across. Milky Jenkins! Oh, drop. Has he caught that, Jennings? Oh, it's going to be ruled a knock on here from Jennings. He may have caught this. They'll see this in the bunker. They'll review it anyway. They don't need to challenge it. It will be reviewed in the bunker anyway. Yes, Jack Attack. I will be here for the Socceroos match. Absolutely. Absolutely, I'll be here. I'll be live half an hour early. So 12:30 p.m. my time tonight. 12:30 a.m. my time tonight. No, were we? I want an apology for that recent comment. No, I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear you say that until we get an apology. Otherwise, you will get a 5-minute timeout again. Knocks the ball backwards. Does he catch it? Oh, he's caught that. This is Rabbitoh's ball at the 20. 7 tackle set. He doesn't knock this ball on. He catches this. Dane Jennings has been incredible today. You can't tell me that's a knock on. Oh, the second grip maybe. Oh, it's the second grip that might actually be a knock on. Either way, he's been great today. But the second one might be a knock on. The first one's fine, but then as he regathers it here. Oh, but does it touch the ground there? No, pins it against his body. Successful challenge. 1,000 apologies. Take the lol out. Say it again. Say it again, Owerly. Take the lol out and say 1,000 apologies. Say that again. Adam MMA says PNG will win a comp before the Warriors. Could you imagine if the South Island New Zealand team won a comp before the Wars? Oh no. Yes, 7 tackle set here. Staying up, players taking a nap. It's all big games now in the World Cup. I'll stay up for it. At the end of the day, it's 6:13 p.m. for me. It'll start at 12:30 a.m. There's no point me sleeping. What the hell were those balloons? Dude, things happen on this stream, and I don't even know. I don't have any balloons or thumbs up, and sometimes there's a thumbs up, sometimes there's balloons. I don't know. You take that lol out right now, son. You say 1,000 apologies without the lol. For context, for people who don't remember, he said that Casey Badger should referee an Origin game. What an absolutely disgraceful comment. Second tackler at the 40. Actually, yeah. I'm going to put that. I am going to thank you very much, Sundo, for the gift. Thank you, sir. Set star for 2 jewels. Get around here. 6 again here, the Rabbitohs. Oh, no, I've just timed out Adam. No, Adam, no, sir, I'm going to time you out for 10 seconds so you come back. I went to pin your comment, but then Sundo sending those jewels just confused me. That's my bad, Adam. It's a great comment. If you send it again, I will pin it because that's completely my bad. Blame Sundo, actually, for it. Second tackle out the 25. Actually, yeah, blame Sundo. It's not my bad. Sundo, we want an apology. Oh, no, it's another knock-on from the Rabbitohs, bro. It's another knock-on from South Sydney. At least it's in the attacking half this time, but my gosh, their knock-ons are crazy. Alamotti, Brian Tottle's away here. Oh, taking out the 35, first tackle. Yeah, we'll take that as an apology, Sundo, with the 2 jewels. The next one, we appreciate you. That is his apology. Where he says, 1,000 apologies. I need this. I have no other form of entertainment tonight. Second tackle here. Well, then you watch your mouth when you suggest Casey Badger as a referee for Origin. Third tackle now for the Panthers. Dylan Edwards at the 40. Panthers are not usually a good second half team. I'm blaming Tiger Hood. There's also that option. And I will also blame Anthony Milford for sure. Panthers at the 30 on 4th tackle. Hold a ball. Rabbitohs second half completions 1 from 4. They had 25% completion rate in the second half. Jack Cogger, short ball, and Scotty Sorensen. He'll get this ball to the 20 on 5th tackle. Well, they're short side, so I'm sure they'll kick this ball across to Brian Tottle's side. They've been loving the Milky Jenkins side today, but Dane Jennings has been good. They are actually going to kick it back to Milky Jenkins. And Milky Jenkins catches it. He goes out to the left. I think it's a try time of Milky Man. I think the Milkman has delivered. It's a try time for the Milkman. Deliver the milk. Deliver the milk now. It has been delivered. The Jenkins absolute machine will go over for a try time. Jennings has been really good today, but there's just too many Rabbitohs around here and too good from Jenkins, and he goes out to the left, and I think he's just going to reach out before his feet go over the sideline, and that's strong. The Milkman has delivered. If he gets this down, it's amazing, really. Look how strong this is. Oh, that's a brilliant try. That's a brilliant put down. Brocky just try time, bing bong, mother beesh. What a season Milky Jenkins has had, by the way. 30 minutes to go here at the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe for new round here. Panthers score 16-10. Kid to come. Can we please get 40 plus? Oh my gosh, I'm sweating. By the way, Adam, Adam MMA, can you comment again just so I can make sure that you're not still timed out for a mistake? Because I actually genuinely wanted to pin that comment, but Sundo confused me. That's a brilliant put down. If he doesn't win Ranger of the Century, I call Mafia. You're an idiot. What about the Bra Man? You don't like the Bra Man? He is definitely most improved player of the competition, though, for sure. He scores every single time he scores this year. He scores multiple, so we're probably going to see another try from Jenkins today. Alamotti, it's a beautiful kick from the sideline, and it will be 18 points to 10 with 30 minutes to go here. Adam caught the ultimate stray. No, but I didn't mean to time about 5 minutes. I was trying to pin his comment. Ibrahim says, what a signing Jenkins has been, considering he was only supposed to be backup. Well, they re-signed him because he was at the Panthers, and then he went to the Knights, and then he's back now at the Panthers. The Brat Man hasn't given away enough penalties while holding the ball. You're right. No, you're right. No, his main His main job is to give away penalties whilst the Raiders do have the ball in possession. You are right. He hasn't done that enough. He's only done it like twice this year. So you're correct. Bretton says, every time we mention Milky, I always think about Nate telling us he knows the real Milky Bar kid from the ad. Oh, yeah. He does, yeah. Cobbo most improved this year? No way. Jenkins most improved last year, in my opinion? No way. Both great assets to the teams. I agree with that last part. I would definitely say that most improved has been Thomas Jenkins here, though. Thomas Jenkins was, with all due respect, a really, really average, poor player. I would use the word poor. He was poor. He didn't do well for the Knights. He wasn't fantastic in his first season of the Panthers. This year, he has been an elite winger. He is going to probably break the record for most tries scored in a season. So while someone covered, Blaze Lungi kicks his ball in the corner, and that will be Dane Jennings who gets it at the 15. I think if it wasn't Jenkins' first season, like if Jenkins wasn't having a first year real breakout, then I think he would have played Origin. But because this is his first year of a breakout, I just don't think that they trusted him. And they've still got Nona Tawase. And that's who's ultimately gotten the spot instead. Left-hand side for the Rabbitohs. Edward Cossey back to Jai Gray. Gray gets it off to Dave, Cody Walker. And Cody Walker will be taken down here at the 40 on fit tackle. Yeah, Jackson Ford is also... Oh, no. I'd say Jackson Ford was great last year as well, to be fair. This year he's been great, though. Jackson Ford is improving significantly. But I would say Cobbo plus Jenkins are the two for sure. Tigers displays, you should start a pay system where people can pay to time people out. I'll pay $10 to time out someone. All right, you want to do that, man? We'll time out for 5 minutes. All right, Tiger Hood, be my guest. We'll do it, I promise you. No matter who you say, they'll get a 5-minute timeout. Sure thing, man. 4 tackle to the right-hand side. This is actually quite funny. I'll go to the left-hand side at the 40 on fit tackle. All right, I look forward to this. I want to know who wants the timeout. I'm sure it's going to be a Brenton. Brenton, I'm sure you're copping this. Yeah, Brenton says, here comes my name. Panthers are going to score. Oh, back on the inside. And, oh my gosh, the Rabbitohs have just saved it. Oh, Liam Henry nearly just had a double. $1 per minute. Oh, I don't know if I want to time out for Brendan for 10 minutes, though. I think we could do a 5-minute, yeah, I don't know if I want to time him out for 10. That's a long time in a rugby league game. So first tackle now with the Rabbitohs. But what number is Lindsay Smith? Lindsay Smith is he? I think he's 10, isn't he? He is... No, sorry, Liam Henry's 10. Lindsay Smith, 13. 13. If that's how you want to waste your hard-earned money, then go right ahead. Wait, Mitchell, why don't you let him donate, all right? Why don't you settle down? That's a great try saver. I was calling game over, he scored. Yeah, for sure. The first time out always has to be lagging no matter what. As a moderator, when you reach the peak of becoming a moderator, yes, that does need to happen. Jai Gray grabbing his left shoulder there. He's just moving his head around. Every time I see a player like hurt their neck or something like that, I always need to crack my own neck. I need Brian Toto now to score. Well, I think that they've aimed down Jenkins' side here today because they know that he is so good in the air. Dane Jennings has been really strong, but Jenkins usually scores doubles. He's only scored 1 so far, so definitely don't be surprised if they continue to go back down his side. 4 tackle now with the Rabbitohs. They're at the 25. Jai Gray, Rabbitohs. Jack Whiten at the 40 on 4 tackle. And David Fafita brings this ball here to the 50 on 5th tackle. Jai Gray, the Greys player at the shortest height at the moment in the game. I'm trying to think of short guys in the game. Who's short guy? I don't think Loffy's that tall. Nah, there's going to be small guys that are better than Jai Gray. Jai Gray's good, don't get me wrong, but there's got to be smaller guys than Jai Gray. Here he is. It's Sugar. Yeah, this is how you've been going, both Cole and Cog on the field with the names. I actually mentioned this before, man. I said I've got a subscriber that always comments about how, like, I obviously get Cogger and Cole mixed up. And then I noticed that both Cogger and Cole are in the game. Luckily for me, Cogger is the halfback and Cole is the centre, and Cole hasn't been really that active in this game compared to Cogger. So it's been quite easy. But no, I've had it down patty today. But I did actually mention you before earlier on in the game. So they'll whack this ball down here to the 20. Rabbitohs knock it on again. Bro. No way you call that knock backwards. Nah, that wasn't knock backwards, Adam G. That's gone forward and then gone backwards. That's 100% knock on. Oh, we're stopped for a blood bin. Oh, dude, but it should be able to challenge. I'm pretty certain it was a knock on. And, that's a knock on every day of the week, bro. That is a knock on every single day of the week, Adam G. Oh, dude. No, you don't have to back the referee's judgment there, Cooper Cronk. You just don't, because that is called a knock on every single day of the week. Brenton, are you so nervous waiting for... are you so nervous waiting for Tiger Hood's next comment? The suspense is just really ticking along. 1.3 inches in what? 1.3 inches in average, and you can't prove me wrong. I don't even know what what are we talking about, inches, and what are we talking about? What are you saying? What, mate? If he sends $10, you got to cop it. You got to cop it for $5. But I'm not a hater. I'm donating for plays. Oh no! But the thing is, do I do it? Thank you very much for the donation, Tiger Hood. Thank you. So you don't want me to do it then, okay? Cody Walker's going to bring his ball to the 45 on 4 tackle. Cooper Cronk has the worst humour in all honesty. His podcast with Matty is an ordeal. I don't really watch podcasts, man, so I can't really have a say on it. Fit tackle now at the 40. Brandon Smith comes on for David Fafita. Ooh. Thanks for wasting our time, Mitchell says. Yeah, I was hoping to time out Brenton. First tackle now at the 10. That would have been very funny. Yeah, he's called him a cat. Second tackle now with the Panthers, up with the 15. Some people just don't have good names, I guess. Jake says, what happened to the US stream? We'll be live for Australia versus... I've moved places, man. The internet wasn't good in the other place, and it was super uncomfortable to stream there, so I've moved places. We're back into the World Cup content from tonight with Australia versus Egypt and probably Argentina versus Austria. Yeah, it just was not a good setup over there, mate. So that's why I was actually booked until next Wednesday over there, but I just didn't want to do it. So we're back into it tonight, man. It's going to be a big one. So third tackle now with the Panthers at the 50. Take a donation, then time them out immediately. Boss move. Oh, dude, that is an absolute penalty and a half. Tavita Totola has just absolutely clobbered Jack Cole. It's Sugar. Jack Cogger. Not the one who got taken down. Jack Cole, the one who got taken down. Bit biffo. A little bit of biffo there. That was a good contact. Oh, boy, that would have hurt. That would have... Tiger Hood says, I was thinking it would be a good system for the stream. People would donate to time people out. Well, look, like I said, man, like you suggested, $10, and you can time out whoever you damn well want. It can happen. I'm not saying no to it. You just need to be the initiator. But you got scared. You got scared of doing it to Brenton, who has been ripping into you all stream. He's been ripping India all stream. And come at the man, come at the moment. You didn't come at the moment, come at the man. You let him get away scot-free. They go to the right-hand side, Lindsay Smith and Moses Leota, and Leota's going to get this ball to the 20 on second tackle. 100k to become a mod, good idea. Mate, 100k, you could be a mod for sure. So third tackle now at the 10. Oh, no, that depends on who it is still. No, 100k, you can be a mod for sure. And they'll be taking it down here at the 5-on-4 tackle. That hit made my speakers find a new note. Dude, that was a good sound. To the right-hand side, well, it's a solid sound. It wasn't a good sound because it was a high hit. Fit tackle now, 5 metres away from the line for the Panthers. Dylan Edwards rolls it back. Here we go. Out to the left. Here's a chance. Panthers. Milky. Deliver the milk. No, I don't know. I think he might have scored here. I think he scored when he scores. He scores twice. The milkman, Milky Jenkins. Milky man. We got the milk delivered by the man. Milky man. How did he get that down? It's amazing. How has he scored this here, the milkman? How has he delivered the milk in this one? Good pass there from Blake Salangi. Milkman, Kolomatangi. Oh, it's going to be double movement. It's got me. You watch him call double movement here. Oh, he might have lost it too. He might have lost it too. But you watch him call double movement because his arm does hit the ground first and then he does decide to lift his arm up. You watch. Guarantee it. Not only has he probably knocked this ball on, but his arm went down first and then, 100% double movement. There's separation here, but it's also a double movement. Yeah, but there's also double movement. That's a try for me. But you can't because he's been tackled, his arms hit the ground, his ball-carrying arm hit the ground, and then he's reached out for it. I think he put that ball down. I think that it's fine in regards to put down. But the arm has gone down. The ball-carrying arm has hit the ground. The ball-carrying arm has hit the ground. This can't be a try. It has to be double movement. Kolomatangi still on him. Yeah, Adam G is about to call it up. It's about to be bunker. It's a double movement. It's a black and white double movement. It's black and white. It's nothing about the actual drop ball because I think he actually gets that ball down. I don't understand why the commentary's not talking about the black and white double movement. No, his arm hits the ground. I don't understand. So they're checking grounding. So they're saying this is a knock on then. Oh well. Okay, so why'd we go to the bunker then? So they're calling this a try. So why did we go to the bunker then? So it's a try. Yeah, Cody Walker's correct here. He's complaining about double movement. Yeah, he still comes down to the ground with the ball. His ball-carrying arm has hit the ground and then he has reached out for the try. Cody Walker is absolutely correct here. They've been so focused on the put down that they didn't even acknowledge the double movement. His elbow has clearly hit the ground, bro. Like, in what world is this not a double movement? His arm is elbow below the double movement. But his elbow does hit the ground. Okay, so again, though, I need to clarify here. Why did the bunker ask for Adam G to stop the clock and take it to the bunker for them to say that it's a try? What was the point? Sana says that is the wrong call. His elbow literally hit the ground. It's black and white double movement then. Happy birthday, it's O's. But yeah, you were going to get timed down for that one because you were spamming it. But it's 24 points to 10. That is quite literally a blatantly incorrect call. 20 minutes to go here in the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. I know why you're happy, Deaky, because you need over 40. But that's a blatantly incorrect call. But the milkman will get a second try. It was their interpretation. Well, their interpretation is incorrect. It's black and white. It's literally black and white. That's insane. Ibrahim says, is that the first time we've went to the bunker and it's still called a try? Probably. Anyway, that is a blatantly incorrect call, but we move on with it. 24-10 Rabbitohs fans, you can be pretty upset about that. Isn't it the wrist and hand of the ball, double movement, and not the elbow? I'm not sure, though. It is the ball-carrying arm. It's the ball-carrying arm. It's not. There's no dictation in regards to wrist and ball. It's the ball-carrying arm. His elbow, his whole from... If it was only here that touched, they'd say no. But it's his elbow that touches. That's the ball-carrying arm. And he promotes the ball over the line after. I don't understand why they didn't even acknowledge this. And I don't understand why it took the commentary as long as it did for them to acknowledge it when they know exactly what we're talking about here. And then they only acknowledged it after Cody Walker was speaking about it. I don't know how that's been skipped over. I'd be so mad if that was against my team. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm glad it's not against my team. Not because I'd be livid, but because I'd be called biased for it. It's not... It wouldn't have anything to do with it being biased. That was just flat out not a try. And I tipped the Panthers for this game. Said the Rabbitohs could do it, but I just thought the Panthers would still find a way. Yeah, Charlie 9 commentary completely ignored it as well, because everyone was so focused on the put down and the potential knock on, which I thought there was no separation. I thought it looked weird, but it was fine. I just don't get how you can get that incorrect. It's literally black and white. The Rabbitohs will be taken down to 45 on fifth tackle. But Cody Walker will be kicking himself if they lose this. He'll be kicking someone, that's for sure. I don't know if he'll be kicking himself. He'll probably kick somebody from Penrith. Dylan Edwards will get this ball to the 15 on first tackle. I couldn't believe Cronk was complaining about the put down. Yeah, I didn't... Look, the put down looked a little bit weird. Looked like there potentially could have been a bubble, but there was no evidence to overturn it, and I thought it was completely fine. And that's what the bunker said. That's what everyone's gone with. I just can't fathom how they got that wrong, though, in regards to the double movement. Richard says, mate, after the way Senegal was robbed, this ain't nothing. Croatia was robbed. Did you see people were saying Senegal should walk off the field? Because of what happened in the AFCON final. They were saying Senegal should have just walked off the field. They would have lost 3-0 if they did that. So Jack Cogger's going to put that ball up. And Jai Gray gets it at the 12 on first tackle. Nikhil said, I tipped the Bunnies, but it was a try for me all in one momentum. No, but, Nikhil, brother, you're wrong, man. It doesn't matter if it's all in one, because his elbow has come onto the ground and then he has reached out. You can't do that. It's not, with all due respect, man, opinions are fine, and your opinion that it's a try is your opinion. Unfortunately, factually, it is incorrect, though, because his ball-carrying arm touches the ground and then he reaches out. Like, he quite literally progresses the ball. Michael says, tip Panthers, but without that call on the trip, Bunnies would be up. 1 second. Rabbitohs, Cody Walker! Out of nowhere, the Cody Walker's going to score here. Well, game's back on. Cody Walker's going to score. It's 24-14 with the kick to come. Now you're definitely right, Michael. So you take away, you get to give them that first try. So that would have been then on. Well, we can't give them the 6, but okay, we'll give them the 6 for all intents and purposes. So we'll go 16, and then Panthers were on 18. They're 24 now. Well, no, it would have been 18-16. It would have been 18-16. It would have been 18 points to 16, but now it would have been 22 points to 18 with the kick to come. 20 points to 18 with the kick to come. Brocky says, true. They've got very lucky here, but winners make their own luck. The ball bounces perfectly here for the Rabbitohs, and Cody Walker just running straight through the middle after Tallis Duncan gets the grab. Can Australia beat Argentina in the next round? Well, let's just focus on beating Egypt in the morning, right? We'll focus on beating Egypt, and then we'll talk all about Football World Cup. We'll be live for Australia versus Egypt half an hour before the game starts, man. So we've got plenty of time to talk all things Australia football and FIFA World Cup. Was Latrell Seagull onside here? I know Tallis Duncan was offside. Oh, this is going to be offside. Rabbitohs fans, this right now is making me feel like that Rabbitohs Manly game where Rabbitohs scored a fair try and was taken away from them. NRL admitted it too. And then Manly went up the other end of the field and scored off of a knock-on that very same play, but they couldn't call it a knock-on because it was on the play the ball or something like that, which means that they could technically not call it. And then Manly scored themselves. The same things happened here, but this is a legitimate offside because Charles Siegel was offside. But where the Panthers have been given a bullshit try and then immediately the Rabbitohs have scored and it's been called no try for legitimate reasons, but it's just giving me that same thought process as that Manly versus Rabbitohs game. So Panthers will receive the penalty there for an offside. Mark says, yippee, can't believe I'm staying up till 4 o'clock to watch Australia. Well, you'd be staying up till 6 a.m. because that's when the game will finish. For me, it's on at a reasonable time. Like, I don't mind the old 1 a.m. start for me. Emily says, shut up. Okay, Emily, why would you say that? Let me know. You hurt my feelings, Emily. I don't know how I'm going to survive this one. I've never been told to shut up before. So, Emily, explain to me, what do you have an issue with right now? What is the issue that you have, Miss Ma? Is that how I pronounce it? I look forward to this one, Emily. Please give me your intellectual and deeply analytical knowledge to tell me what you disagree with as we currently speak, Emily. 4th tackle now at the 13. Potentially 7 a.m. as well if it goes to Pens. Yeah, true. Knock on for the Panthers and the Rabbitohs will get the ball at 15. Cronk obviously had a bet on Jennings getting a double and couldn't let it go. Well, when Tom Jenkins scores, he usually scores a couple. Come on, Brian. Well, the Panthers knocked the ball on there when they had a great opportunity to really kill this game off. Koloamatangi to the left-hand side. Jamie Humphries, Cody Walker, quick passing. Brian Tuttle grabs it. Brian Tuttle's away. Oh, taking down the 10 on first tackle. Richard says, comes to a live broadcast and tells the host to shut up. Nice one, Karen. Man, it really hurts my feelings. I don't know how I'm going to survive. And 6 again here for the Panthers. 3 minutes away from the line. Lindsay Smith. Cronk saying that the offside call was ill-disciplined when Ward stutter-stepped and Trell was 1 foot offside. Just talking to talk at this point. Yeah, and again, he had a complaint about the put down before. Anyway, so second tackle here at the 10. Cooper Cronk, what a man. Amazing player. Commentary sometimes can get a little bit off it. Amazing player, though. They go to the left-hand side. Then again, like Blocker was a great player back in his day. Blocker was a fantastic player. Cooper is at least better than Blocker, but Blocker is good for the old vibes. Good for the old vibes. Cronk, though. 5th tackle at the 5. And they go out to the right. Cogger. I don't know if this is... Yeah, it is 6 again here for the Panthers. It is 6 again for the Panthers. Bait Clips and their Panthers to win no more than 1 of 12. It's going to be tough right now. You would have loved that try to go their way just then. Funny thing is that I know Emily's been here since the beginning of the stream because Emily commented at the beginning of the stream saying, when does the game start? So that means that Emily has been here for the last, however long we've been streaming for, about 2.5 hours. And then 2.5 hours later tells me randomly, shut up, and then doesn't explain why. So they go to the left-hand side. I'd get it if it was like they just came into the stream, they wanted a live game, and within 2 seconds they're just like, oh man, this person yapping instead of watching the game. I get that. But this person's been here for 2.5 hours. And she's telling me to shut up. They go to the left-hand side, and they'll be at the 5, and there's a lost ball there for the Panthers, and there's a high tackle penalty against the Rabbitohs. She might be talking to chat. Well, if she's talking to chat, then she can let us know. If she's talking to chat and not to me, she can let us know. Okay, Lagan, let's settle down with that one. Let's settle down with that one. Yeah, Mitchell's removed that one. Let's settle down with that comment there, Lagan. 13 minutes to go here at the game. Panthers are already up by 14, so they won't take the 2. Probably just a typo. I don't know how you can typo, shut up. Yeah, okay, Lagan. And he wonders why he gets timed out. First tackle, 3. He didn't get timed out for this one, but he wonders. Lindsay Smith is going to be 5 meters away from the line now. Second tackle. A try here would kill this game. I think Lindsay Smith for a try. Lindsay Smith for a try? Why? That's a random bet. Lindsay Smith. Oh, they offload the ball here. Still Panthers ball. Billy Phillips. Billy Phillips. Billy Phillips. Try time for the Panthers. And that, my friends, will be the game. 28-10 with a kick to come from basically right in front. It will be a try time for the Panthers unless there's a little knock on here. But this is a try time for Billy Phillips. Billy Phillips. As long as that doesn't get knocked on into Jamie Humphreys, he puts this ball down nice and cleanly. You missed Lagging's comment, Nikhil, because it was removed by the moderators before you guys could see it. Well, Billy Phillips goes over. I've seen 0 from Tallis tonight. Yeah, Tallis hasn't really done a great deal. That's because he retired a few years ago, Gordon Tallis. Yeah. Someone says, oh, well, I'm off to bed. Come on, Aussie. All right. We'll get up, ready, rock and roll tomorrow. Hope you have a good time at Tumbalong. It should be a good time. I don't think that the Egyptians in Australia will cause too many problems. I think that there was quite a few problems with Argentinians in the previous World Cup. Obviously, there was no real problems with. We didn't have any problems with Tunisia. We had a couple of dickhead Australians who decided to deliberately support France down there at the live site in Melbourne at Federation Square. We had a couple of morons who were Aussies who were deliberately trying to rile up the crowd as French fans. But they got handled pretty quickly. I don't think the Egyptians will be too bad. With that being said, though, there's been a little bit of chatter online from Egyptians about the Aussies. User says, at least we know who wins. I can go to sleep now. Exactly right. We've got to be up early in the morning. You've got to be up very early in the morning for Australia. So we'll be live half an hour before that game starts, which will be at 3:30 a.m. your time. But the game will start at 4 a.m. So 10 minutes to go of the game here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. The Panthers, they've been able to cleanly dispose of this game after 2 straight losses. They're back in the winner's circle. And Rabbitohs, well, now you're going to be equal with the North Queensland Cowboys. You're going to still be above them points differential-wise. But, oh boy. Footy Dad says Egypt probably not known for being soccer hooligans. Footy Dad, you will be very surprised to hear that is incorrect. You'll be very surprised to hear that you go around the world in terms of football. This is going to be a penalty. Well, this is not going to go to 10, so it's going to be a Panthers ball to 50. But you shouldn't be surprised to hear that football can bring out the worst of people. And especially in Europe. Like, for example, you wouldn't think England is actually just crazy hooliganism, but it is crazy hooliganism. I was looking at the FC Kairat. So I'm going to the FC Kairat game against Udabasi in the Kazakhstani Premier League in about 3 weeks' time, right? I went and looked at their active area because I wanted to sit where the active area was. And the first pinned video is them being hooligans and actually bashing people. Their first pinned video was them fighting. Obviously, all blurred faces and whatnot. But this is kind of how the world goes. If you go to Egypt and you go to a football game, I guarantee you there is. I don't know about the Egyptians in Australia, but the Egyptians in Egypt definitely take it very, very seriously. Say something bad about Mohamed Salah and you'll find out pretty quickly. Thomas Jenkins down this left wing. Thomas Jenkins for a hat trick, Hat trick time for the milkman. He has delivered not once, not twice, but he's delivered 3 times. The milkman, Milky Jenkins, with the try time. 34-10 with the kick to come, and it's becoming a blowout now. The milkman in again. Richard says Poland, they're crazy football fans worse than German. Yeah, the Polish fan, yeah, but that makes sense. German fans are very, very passionate. I wouldn't say that Germany fans are overtly aggressive. I wouldn't say that the Bundesliga has overly aggressive fans, and I wouldn't say the national team does. Bosnia, oh, Serbia, wow. Poland, definitely. Russia, yep. All like those Eastern European nations are all pretty physically aggressive and violent in terms of footballing fan bases. It's better be lactose free or I'm going to spew. It is not lactose free right now, mate. He is getting full everything in this game. Bro, Rabbits are playing like Parramatta last week, started strong, now getting dominated. That's how the game goes nowadays because they just get exhausted. But what's interesting is that the Panthers made 234 tackles in the first half, which is 54 more tackles made than the typical average of 160 to 180. And yet they're the ones coming home strong. And also, what's even more interesting as well is that the Panthers are typically an awful second half team. You saw that last week against the 2 weeks ago against the Titans. You saw it last week against the Cowboys. You see it regularly against the Dolphins and the Warriors, but they still found a way to win those games. This game here, they just haven't let up. And this is why I've been saying, regardless of these last 2 weeks, guys, this team probably still wins the premiership. They probably still do. Paul Adamozzi will make the kick. 36-10 with 8 minutes to go here to game. Hey, well, Deaky, over 40. Deaky, you got your over 40. Nikhil says Mexico versus England in Mexico is going to be madness. That's going to be so crazy, dude. I can't wait for that game. I would... No. Oh. I would argue Mexico-England I'm actually nearly looking forward to more than Australia. Like, I love my team, I love my nation, and I'm so passionate behind it. But as a pure football game, Mexico versus England is going to be incredible. The Mexican team have only lost twice in history at the Estadio Azteca. Twice in like 80 years or whatever it is. Yeah, I won 440. Now I can order a large pizza. I can't wait for the $40 donation. Now, good stuff, man. Enjoy that. So, second tackle. You don't even get a large pizza. You also get a garlic bread and you also get a big old fat Coke or something like that. Now we're talking. Richard says, when they lost to the Titans, their coach put a rocket up them. Nah, when they lost to the Cowboys. Because they lost the Titans 2 weeks ago, then they lost to the Cowboys last week. All right, so it's going to be Paul Alamotti. Alamotti's moving to the right-hand side. Panthers are away on this right wing. There is still a chance of a fitty bomb. There is. It's fit tackle there with the Panthers at 33 on the Rabbitohs side of the field. They're going to whip that ball up high. The chase through him, Edwards. He's going to get it. How are they still? Oh, it's a knock on here from the Rabbitohs. The Panthers get another 6 again, 10 metres out. It's going to be 0 tackle. Panthers 10 metres away from the line. How is it that the Panthers, they're going to score here, left-hand side. Jenkins is going to score his 4th. Oh, no, he's kicked it on first tackle. What is he doing? Dane Jennings, really good grab there, and he'll be taken down here at the 15. It was 0 tackle, and he's kicked that ball across. That was awful. And penalty to the Rabbitohs. Hitch Sugaya says, Milky now tied highest Panthers player tries in a season. Amazing. And we've still got, next week's a bye, but round 20, so he's still got 8 more games as well. Still got 7 more games. They'll rest him in. They'll probably rest a lot of their guys, inclusive of Jenkins in the round 27 game. Everyone says, Deaky, make sure it doesn't have pineapple on it, mate. Yeah, Deaky, if you do get pineapple on it, you will be receiving a slap. We'll be live half an hour before the game, Serpent, for Australia versus Egypt. 30 minutes beforehand. So that'll be 3:30 a.m. your time. 12:30 a.m. my time, 3:30 a.m. your time. Can Queensland beat New South Wales? Queensland will beat New South Wales, son. They can't just beat New South Wales. They slap New South Wales. Slap them! Slap them. Disrespectful that you even asked me that question. Let's slap them. First tackle now for the Rabbitohs at the 50. And now be second. Oh, they play the Broncos in round 20, do they? 3:30 a.m. Alarm is set. We'll see you then. Good night. All right, mate. You have a good one. Third tackle now for the Rabbitohs. They'll beat the 33. I'll set my alarm for 10 a.m. Grow up, Brenton. Grow up, Brenton. How dare you miss the Australia versus Egypt knockout game? Gee whiz. Get a grip of yourself. You call yourself an Australian? You call yourself a proud Novocastrian man from Newcastle, Australia? Oh my gosh, that's a whack. That's a high tackle here against the Panthers. Rabbitohs receive a penalty. Take the 2, you cats. Oh, wow. Biffo. Tallis Duncan's come in for a slap. Ashton Ward has been hit high here, but Tallis Duncan's really getting into them. There's a bit of a biffo. You call yourself an Australian, you won't get up at 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m. to watch Australia play. Oh, goodness me. Tiger Hood with the $2 donation. Says, good stream. Appreciate your Tiger Hood. Fire up. This might be a bin here. There might be a bin here. But thanks Tiger Hood, for the donut. This is going to be a sin bin here. It's a high tackle. It's very high there from Jack Colgar. He's going to the bin for sure. Are we up at 6 a.m. for the game, New Zealand time? I hope my alarm works at that time. Yeah, Jack Colgar's gone. See you later. Mark my words, says no. After Penrith lost their 2 games, Ivan was looking like Red from Angry Birds, so he brutally smacked the shit out of them, especially Brian. Yeah, he would have given him an uppercut or 2. Like, last week, that was inexcusable in how poor the Panthers were. They were very poor last week. Duncan's too tall to be Maltese. Give me his genes. Brenton says, I'll be up till 4:30 a.m. at the latest if you're lucky. So what, you're going to get half an hour of the game in? Half an hour. All right, so it's going to be second tackle of the Rabbitohs, 5 meters away from the line. Panthers down a man for the final 5 minutes here. Tavita Totola. And he'll be 9 meters out. Booty says, reckon Totola will score? Probably not, man. They've just lost their halfback for the rest of this game. They're already up 36-10. Rabbitohs might even score right now. Kolomatangi, he'll be 3 meters out. Gets the offload away. Good offload. Wow. Brandon Smith across. And there'll be a knock on here from the Panthers. So it's going to come back here for the Rabbitohs at the 10. It's actually a penalty to the Rabbitohs. Probably not, man. The Panthers aren't going to look to attack now. And again, they've lost their halfback. How many anyone says, waiting for a comment. Emily, kind of disappointed you left us on a cliffhanger. Yeah, I just want to know why I'm being told to shut up. Beautiful. We've got Land Down Under being played in the stadium right now. Come on, the Aussies. Come on, the Aussies, you cats. You big dog, you. First tackle now with the Rabbitohs. Second tackle here at the 8. Could you imagine? We haven't ever really had a 90th minute winner when it comes to... Like, okay, we had the Asian Cup win in the... Oh, that's a try time for Latrell C. Well, try time for the Rabbitohs. 36-14 with the kick to come. We've never at a World Cup... Oh, we had the Japan game, but that was 2 goals in like the 83rd and the 87th, which is still late. But we've never had like a 90th minute winner. Could you imagine the scenes if we had a 90th minute winner? Oh, my gosh. Comeback's on. Yeah, look, comeback's on. Good luck with it. So 22-point game with 3.5 minutes to go. Only 4 converted tries. Well, it is 1 try a minute right now, but you've only got 28 seconds for your first next try. And then you have to score a try a minute. I watched the Portugal game today where we was hoping to catch it here. So what you're telling me, Brenton, is that you watched Portugal play Croatia. But yeah, you couldn't watch Australia tomorrow play Egypt? Oh my gosh, Brenton. Come on. Come on. Come on, Aussie. Come on. Watches Portugal, can't watch Australia. Have a listen to yourself. So 3 minutes to go here. They missed the kick. It's still 36-14. 36-14. Gilberto Mora from Mexico, the teenager, is one to watch. Yeah. He probably is the first player who's like a teenager, like one of those up-and-coming stars that actually looks the age. Well, Lamine does too, but Gilberto Mora is one of the few young stars that actually looks their age. Look at the time slots, but I won't do that, Brenton. I'll look at the teams playing. That's what I'll do. Ibrahim says, if Portugal makes it to the quarters, we could say goodbye to our World Cup because they will do anything for them to verse Argentina. Well, the only way Portugal can play Argentina is in the final now because if Portugal had to come first, then it would have been Portugal versus Argentina in the quarterfinals. But because Portugal came second, it meant I don't think they can play each other until they get to the final. Is that right? Tatas, what do you think about the controversial call about the offside goal? It wasn't offside. I don't think that I don't think he gets his head onto it at all. There was no ball change. There was no movement from the ball that changed. I think it was a goal. Anything to get Ronaldo through. Third tackle now for the Rabbitohs. I just hate knowing that an entire country will live with that in their gut and their soul for the next 4 years before they make the next World Cup, right? Fifth tackle at the 50. Like, Croatians will have to stomach that call for the next 4 years. That kick is also something he's going to have to stomach for the next 10 years. That kick just then was awful. It's 6 again here for the Rabbitohs, though. Very lucky it bounced off a Panther. I don't know. Like, we're still, as a nation, Socceroos-wise, we're still stomaching the Matt Ryan error that cost us the game against Argentina, and also the missed shot in the 90th minute. Like, I don't know if we'll ever get over that, really. But if we got controversially knocked out to something like that, like we've never gotten over 2006, for example, with Italy. And Panthers will go over the sideline here. No, they won't. They'll stay in the field of play. It's going to be out off Brian. So it'll be Rabbitohs ball at the 10-minute-and-a-half to go here. We've never moved on from 2006 controversy with Italy diving in the box, even though we shouldn't be making a tackle like that. O'Neill shouldn't have been making a tackle like that. At the end of the day, it was a dive. We've still never gotten over that. I don't know if I'll ever get over it. Home the NRL, if the Sharks win, do they go from scam to scam? Well, they play the Broncos. I think I might even just leave them there. I didn't even think Brian Tuttle went out here, but I could be completely wrong. Brian Tuttle takes possession. He's nowhere close to out. Why did we... What on earth is that call? Like, he was nowhere close to being out. Edwards picks it up cleanly. It's a successful challenge. Mitchell says, Dad should feel very lucky he's still waiting in line for his zinger box than watching the end part of this game. That is true. Also, Dad still owes me a zinger box. He still owes me a zinger box, that guy. If they lose to the Broncos, can we just remove them from the screen? Antarctica will be on the screen. Yes. The Antarctica Penguins will be on the screen. I can't believe he called that out just then. So Panthers next 5, bye. Broncos at home, Parramatta away, Raiders at home, Warriors away. Their next tough match is the Warriors in 5 rounds' time. Second tackle now for the Panthers at the 25. They will win this game. Rabbitohs, well, you're not going to drop any spots now, but the Sharkies, well, if they can beat the Broncos tomorrow, the Sharkies will go above you and the Rabbitohs will go down into 8th position. But the Cowboys are now equal with you. The Bulldogs are only 2 points away from you. Rabbitohs will get this ball here at 20. And they'll be taken down. 30 seconds to go. Oh, I'm excited for Australia, Egypt, though. I'm excited for the game in the morning. Well, it's not even too long away now. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's only 5.5 hours until we start that stream up. It's only 5.5 hours until we get going for Australia versus Egypt. All right, they go it across here. I'm going to set the stream up immediately after this. The stream will be live right after. That's going to be knocked back here from the Panthers. They will get the ball. Knock on from Brian Toto. Rabbitohs, Jai Gray can kick this ball through. Jai Gray still kicking. It's going to be awkwardly bouncing. Jai Gray's going to score here. Jai Gray. Oh, no. Oh, he will score. Jai Gray will score this. That's crazy. Yeah, put Jai in the Socceroos right now. How has he scored this? Jai has grubber kicked this all the way from the 50 to the try line. Yeah, what is this? Is this Nestor and Kunda playing with the Rabbitohs right now? This is being grubbered from the 45. From the 45 on his own side of the field, he's grubbered this all the way for a try. 3 kicks, 4 kicks, 5 kicks, 5 grubbers in a row. That is an omen, Funny Catvids. That is an omen. He has kicked this ball with 5 grubber kicks from the 45 on his own side of the field. That actually is one of the tries of the season. That is actually one of the tries of the season. Look how he controls the ball. How does he do this? I've never seen this before. I've never seen a try of that before, like that before. Honestly, Tony Popovich, get him in the starting roster. Get him in the starting lineup against Egypt in the morning. Good run up for the kick. Oh, no, the bunker. Oh, there's a knock-on off Cody Walker. It's not a try. Oh, they've just taken away one of the... Yeah, screw off, wanker bunker. Oh, Cody Walker has knocked the ball on, lads. Can you say it went backwards from Cody Walker? Can you just say it goes backwards off... Oh, you're kidding me. They're going to say it's a no try. Oh, we've just been robbed of one of the tries of the season. Keanu Kenny is try of the season. It just is. It was Cody Walker as per usual. Yeah, you're right, Seb. You're telling me Cody Walker makes mistakes? I don't believe it. I don't believe you, mate. I don't believe you. You're telling me the guy who got sin binned before because he decided to kick a player makes mistakes? You're joking. I don't believe you. But it will be a no try, and it will finish the game up at 36 points to 14. It will be a clear and decisive win there for Penrith, and they will go 3 wins on top of the table right now. Warriors, the bye doesn't really help them now, and Dolphins, if they don't beat the Knights, the minor premiership is officially over, even though pretty much it's anyway. Would have been one of the tries of all time, honestly. That was great to watch. It was pretty awesome to watch, but unfortunately, Cody Walker did knock the ball on. Now, guys, don't forget, obviously, again, as we've been speaking about, tomorrow morning, Australia versus Egypt, 3:30 a.m. your time. I'll be live. The game starts at 4 a.m. We've also got Dragons versus the Tigers, which will be live for about half an hour beforehand. I'm not going an hour live before Dragons Tigers. I just won't do it. I'm not going to sit an hour to talk about Dragons Tigers. We will be here for half an hour beforehand for sure. And then we've got a big game between the Broncos and the Sharks to finish off the day. And then on Sunday, we'll also have the Eels versus Manly. We'll also have some round of 16 matches too, which would be cool. But Sunday, we have the Eels versus Manly. And then also Knights versus the Dolphins. Actually, just quickly, who are the round of 16 games? Who are the... Ooh. Oh, my keyboard has died. Hold on. I'm going to Google it over here. I'll Google it over here. Who are the round of 16 matches on Sunday? FIFA World Cup. World Cup. All right, more matches. Okay, so it's Canada versus Morocco. Morocco should slaughter them. Paraguay versus France. There could be a couple of slaughters there. Anyway, there we go, guys. We'll see you live in the morning for the next game, and I appreciate you for tuning in as per usual. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, and we'll see you for the Australians knocking out the Egyptians, son. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya. Cody Walker is a muppet. He just is. He's a muppet, that guy. He's a muppet. He's a muppet.